tagline. It's a
They're cool brewery.
clear, crisp lager with floral and citrus notes brewed from lovely Colorado.
And you want this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
I was going to trick you into taking this one, but I decided not
We
to.
got a smorgasbord of other things too.
Yeah, this is all we got.
Alright.
Hey,
It'll be a while.
well, cheers everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks
Prost.
for coming on.
Cheers.
And
That's right.
okay.
Wait, oh, yeah.
Yeah, there it happens.
Hey
And
everybody.
we're off.
Welcome to the Rotating Tap Podcast. I'm Corey David.
I'm Steve Vanderplug.
And we have some really awesome guests here today. People that were just in Colorado doing some shows. We're happy to have them here. Can you guys just say hello for us and tell us your names?
Hey, I'm Caitlin Cooke.
Hey, what's up? I'm Sean Patton.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys do that impeccably well.
Yeah. Do I sound that bassy? I'm impressed.
Are you,
Do I sound that bassy?
No, I went, hi, I'm Caitlin Cooke.
No. You said, hey.
You sound like this. You sound like sort of like an exhausted, like I'm just fucking done.
Sounds like
telling.
an exhausted Long Island mother. Is
Yeah.
the tone that you were going there?
That is very fitting.
Do you feel like that's your spirit animal?
Yes.
Somebody forgot the bagels for breakfast.
But that's a compliment because the exhaustion comes from having to explain things to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Really.
I thought the impression was good. I thought you did a great
I'm just gonna
job.
take it on the chin there. There's my bass.
We're pretty
Firing
stoked.
shots at me over there? Is that...
Yeah.
I'm this guy.
Hey man, that's how I sound.
Yeah, who would have thought I'd have the highest pitched voice on the show. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, we're pretty stoked to have you guys. You've already done a couple of shows. We were just up in Steamboat together.
We were.
Yeah, and when well, this episode will come out after you've done your run up here. But where else are you guys gonna be?
We'll be back in New York for most of March, and then we're going to do some shows in Charleston at the end of March. No, beginning of April.
Charleston.
Yeah.
Why Charleston?
My brother and his wife moved there briefly,
Okay.
and we're going to go visit them.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
But why? So when you say they moved there briefly, there's like.
My sister-in-law has lived in California her entire life, and because of the pandemic, they can work remotely. And so they were like, why don't we just go move somewhere random for like 5 months?
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not?
So that's
Are they going to go back to California then?
Yeah. They bought a house in California and then decided to move away from the house they just bought. Yeah.
Charleston's a good mix of like southern and progressive, or southern progressive. So it's like a very because there's some shit you see in Charleston where you're like, okay, that's interesting that's just what you said.
Yeah.
But then there's some things that you're like, aha,
Yeah.
you got a grip on reality.
That's provocative. I like that.
And Bill Murray lives here somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just floating around like a Sasquatch down there that people say.
True.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't actually seen any visual evidence. I'm starting to think that he is a mythical beast.
I think that's probably true.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird, man. When you like rewatch Groundhog Day, is he even in it? Is he even in it?
It's just an apparition. Wait, he's in Groundhog Day?
Exactly. and then they so much so not that they had to remake it into that other movie on Amazon or Hulu. Isn't there with Adam?
There's literally been so many remakes of this concept.
God damn it! What's his name? He's very funny. He was in Lonely Island. He's like the guy. Andy Samberg. There's like a movie.
Oh, Palm Springs.
Palm Springs. What's like the same.
Oh, it's the same premise.
Idea apparently. Yeah. Which different execution.
Fair enough.
You know.
Well, you guys were alright. So you were just up in Steamboat, which you guys at a certain point, because I know you've done shows up there before. I thought you just had like a house up there.
No,
in a weird way.
Love it.
Yeah.
We want a house up there.
Yeah, I think we all do.
Yeah, right?
A lot of house in California, and then it just moved to Colorado.
Yeah, I think most people up there don't even live in their houses most of the time. If we just wanted to go squat in one for a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and I won't say Colorado. Exactly. There's so that's what I'm saying. Corey said it all. No,
Sorry, I just really channeled the Long Island Jewish mom right there. I love a good burp.
Didn't you say you could burp like a champ when we were in the car together the other day?
I'm just letting it gear up.
Yeah, of course. I just wasted one.
Don't you worry about it. Well, like, only in Colorado have I experienced this, so I'm going to say it's a Colorado thing. I have now multiple times experienced different groups of people who do not lock their doors at all.
It's not just a Colorado.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say where in Steamboat Springs, but
the address is 379
Chicago Lane.
Doesn't even have a door handle.
Yeah.
Literally just push it open.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, whatever. I'll fucking. You guys know Kevin O'Brien? Remember Kevin
Oh,
O'Brien?
yeah.
So Kevin O'Brien, Denver comedian, who now lives in New York.
Solid.
When he lived out here. I won't drag his girlfriend in this. When he lived out here, his big thing was like,
Miles?
yeah.
They got engaged, actually. They got engaged.
Oh, good for them.
Today.
Good for them.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Congrats.
Good for them.
I didn't really read the caption on Instagram, so I could be wrong.
Yeah, they actually we found this ring.
The opposite.
It could have been like, this is what could have been if Kevin would have locked the doors. That's my point. When he fucking lived here, I stayed with him for like 3 nights, and it was like, we do not lock the door. I refuse to live in fear. And I fucking hated it.
Oh man!
It was like, but that's not on you. That's not. It doesn't matter that you choose not to live in fear. Potential burglars choose to live inside of your house after they break into it very easily when the door's not locked. So I would lock the door when I would come in, and he would like get mad at me.
Was that when he was living in the compound?
No, it was when it was him, Mara, and one other person, and the other two people seemed to be okay with Kevin not locking the doors.
That's weird.
But in Steamboat,
it happens a lot here too.
Yeah. In Steamboat, the guys we were staying with were like, I don't think any of us have a key to this house.
Oh, that's the essence of it.
Yeah,
like, that's literally.
Oh, but Steamboat seems like I can trust. No, everyone here's got better things to do than become.
We're just giving ideas.
Squatters' rights. Squatters' rights are like 15 minutes in Steamboat. That's all it takes before you own it. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure just to save on rent, they let people squat there.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody was living in the garage. So
yes.
Yeah, very true. So you were up in Steamboat and you went snowboarding. Not for the first time. You guys haven't been in a while, right?
I hadn't. Is that a burp?
Yeah.
Sound like
now you're trying too much.
I felt it. I felt the timing was off.
Sounded like an impersonation of a burp.
And it should be noted for anybody that can't see on camera. Caitlin and I caught it. We do have 2 dogs trying to have sex with each other in the living room. They're not the only ones. We're not the only ones drinking on this podcast.
Yes.
So
one's wearing protection. I don't know which.
Yeah.
Giving or receiving.
You ever try to go down on somebody with a cone on your neck?
Yeah.
It gets wild.
You ever tried to give someone with a cone on their neck a facial?
It actually works like a funnel.
It's going to be a belch of a different magnitude. Dogs belch.
No, but they can hiccup.
Dogs
really cute.
They fart violently.
I've seen dogs burp.
I feel like dogs can burp.
Yeah.
I feel like every mammal can belch.
I feel like if we give
even a whale could belch.
Whales belch.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
They're holding their
Yeah.
breath. It probably doesn't
Is
sound
that
like a
what the
belch.
little spout is in their back?
It's a big burp.
Maybe when they spout, they... damn.
I don't know.
A blowhole, right?
Yeah, that's a burp hole.
That was it.
Grow up.
Oh yeah, probably barf. When I say belch, I mean just dry barf, right? I know.
They're very accustomed to this.
Yeah.
Like I told you
usually
before.
it's like 6 beers in. We are a quarter of a beer.
Yeah, we're already
throwing up. And
well,
shit.
here's what you should know real quick. Caitlin, before I met her, was quite the beer drinker. But then after these are history
How
belch.
it's picking up.
The history burps.
Like a sentence. It's like a period.
Yeah.
Caitlin, before I met her, was living in. Yeah. There's different. Those were period burps. What? Here comes a comma. I don't know if a gas to do a comma.
I've never heard of a woman that had period burps.
Yeah.
Do you get period burps? Is that such a thing?
I think so. I feel like the common thing is like period farts, but it's still air, so it has to go.
Just
one way.
It's gotta come out sometime.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's just nature.
Yeah. I mean, I belch. I belch like that myth of Japanese people after meals. You know, you hear like it's polite to burp in Japan.
Oh, and slurping, yeah.
I've never heard
table.
burp, but I guess I could believe that.
I've heard numerous times, probably from untrustworthy sources, that it's like it's rude in Japan not to belch after a meal.
I've heard that.
That's how you show the chef that you appreciated.
Maybe it's China.
Or was it China?
No.
Well, no. I thought maybe it was China. I just didn't want to put more because, like, if you've been to China, all that the farting, spitting, lack of awareness of space is all pretty true.
Well, there's just so many.
There's just
people
billions
there.
of people there. They don't give a shit about the little things. Yeah,
about smells or anything like that. Yeah.
So I didn't want to put the belching on them too.
No, that's okay. That's fair. It's a human thing.
I can't force myself to burp at all. I have to a lot of people can just burp, and I have to drink.
I have to actually
shitload of carbonation.
Slap them on the back sometimes.
Yeah. I drink too much milk and I get sleepy.
I pick him up and he rests his head on my shoulder.
I mean, I can rip some formulaic belches here, but I want to give you the real thing.
Yeah, well, you can. How about you take over the burping and Caitlin can handle the farts?
Yeah.
Done. She's already had a schedule. Unless you're watching the video and then she just farted out of her mouth.
Yeah.
I feel as if that's not fair to the real connoisseurs listening. The real flatulence connoisseurs would be like...
Oh, good. I think you meant the beer connoisseurs.
Yeah.
I was going to say, fuck those people. No, we're actually catering to the fart crowd.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, this is a alcohol-related podcast, and one question I always like to ask anybody that's visiting is, do you feel like the booze hits you harder here than it does normally? Because it didn't seem to stop either of you all weekend.
I feel like I'm more careful because the entire time that you're here, someone who lives here is like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Remember the elevation. Slow down.
Yeah.
Drink some water. Here's some water. So I feel like I actually handle it.
The altitude. It's coming for you.
Yep.
I feel like after a few days you get used to it though. Like you can kind of go back to your normal drinking.
Yeah, I feel like the person you're talking about usually says that after they just did a round of shots with you. They're like, wait a second, maybe you should have done that.
Do this dab real
That's
quick.
it. You feel all right? Let's do another round. Yeah. I mean, especially up in Steam, because Steamboat's what, 5,000 feet higher?
No, probably like 2,000. It's not as high as stuff like Summit County.
Right,
but it's still higher than this, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely like, it didn't stop me. I mean, let's just get, it didn't stop me from getting so fucked up and then waking up the next morning and suffering from fatigue to the point where I smacked my head.
I heard you ate shit.
Oh, buddy. I ate too much shit.
I wish I would have had a beer for you at the time. Like just one stashed away in my jacket. Like, hey, that looked pretty shitty.
Yeah.
You could use it. You could use a banquet beer.
I mean, it's funny because I kept saying I didn't hit my head. I don't feel like I hit my head that hard. But the truth is, I hit my head that hard. It made that exact sound. They heard that throughout the mountain. We're like, what was that? Did the mountain just belch, or did some fucking idiot hit his head?
It's a moose.
Yeah.
They're wild up there.
I hit my head hard enough to imitate a moose, and for the lenses of my goggles to pop out, which is fun.
Pretty fun that we decided to mix alcohol with an activity, a physical activity where you're flying down a mountain.
Dude, there is no fucking way people don't leave those lodges hammered, though.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
I mean, I did every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're an active hammered. Yeah. Everybody knows the story of Corey David putting down 8 beers. He's like, you know what I gotta go do?
Curly David.
Curly David. Well, that's what they called you back in New York State. Because you do things that would make the hair on people's chests curl.
People do things
when they saw your activities.
Yeah.
Is Corey scaling a goddamn building again? How hammered is he? You know how he gets? He's active.
What floor is he on?
Yeah, what floor did he get there?
Well, you were feeling particularly rough on, what was it, Saturday?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then you had 2 Bloody Marys at lunch.
I needed
Three.
them, dude. I was going to make them up in the gondola, and then everybody threw me on the mountain after one snowboarding lesson.
Well, the best part was, and I feel like every couple
threw.
I'm worried about, Caitlin, we got up there, and we, had some rough falls, and then...
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty
we
sore.
both had some goggle issues. Instead of hitting my head face planted, I ate some of the mountain. Yeah. And also broke goggles.
You ate the mountain's ass.
I faced so hard.
Yeah, mountain 2. Caitlin and Sean 0.
Right. But
I still had fun. But I needed the Bloody Marys to recover.
Yeah. You had a Bloody Mary, and then you had a second Bloody Mary, and then when you got your third Bloody Mary, I was like, the boyfriend in me was like...
I did not finish though.
I should say something, but I don't want to be the asshole boyfriend who said something, because I know she's sore from...
Then
Jared goes, hey, you got to get down down from here.
I
Right?
was like, no, I don't.
Wait, Caitlin, how did you get down that day, though?
The ski patrol.
What?
You didn't know about this?
No! Get the fuck out!
It was not because it was because I was still fucking nauseous, and I was.
She was as
shaking when I
green
got
as
to lunch.
the green Burton jacket you were wearing.
Yeah. I was honestly worried I was going to do what Sean did the first day, which was like go down after lunch feeling exhausted and hurt himself. And I was like, I can't.
Did they take you down on like the sled?
I got to sit on the back.
What?
Yeah.
That sounds
On a
I'm
snowboard?
so embarrassed.
Yeah.
And then I went up the little baby green and like practiced some turns just to end the day by myself.
Yeah, and on a high note.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty badass way to go down. I thought you were gonna like fake an injury.
No, I was like really nauseous when we stepped out of lunch, and I was like, if I fall on my stomach, I'll just vomit all over the mountain. This is not a good idea.
And instead, I'll gamble and potentially vomit on this man's back.
Yes, it was a lady. It was
I'm
a lady.
sorry,
Didn't mean to be sexist.
Didn't mean to
okay?
assume. That's my fault. Nope. Big
Sorry,
asshole.
ladies like to ride drunk / sick / broken people on snowmobiles down mountains too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's not gender specific.
I tell you what, I think hitting my head made me able to ride switchfoot better though. That's for fucking sure.
Yeah, if you're gonna wind up with a superpower.
Yeah, I can
Something
ride
better.
either way, brother.
What's the movie of the kid that breaks his arm and becomes like a World Series pitcher?
Exactly.
Angels in the outfield.
No.
No,
What?
Rookie of the Year. Wait.
Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's a Christian movie.
Yeah.
Both boys were cute in it. I had crushes on them growing up. Same thing.
Yeah, that's fair. But you freaked me out a little bit because you're like, I don't remember certain things.
Oh yeah, dude.
You remember like specific stuff? And you're like, I don't remember anything.
That
What's
was
the
all
deal?
the alcohol I drank.
We're coming off really well on this podcast.
Yeah, no. He hit his head and he was like, I don't remember anything. Tell me stuff. And I'm like, you're a hack. You're not funny. But
Yeah. You're my opener.
That would be hilarious if you hit your head and be like liar, liar. Like you were just really brutally honest to people.
But also very good at snowboarding all this time.
But as long as I'm around snow and on a board where I can ride either way. Yeah, I mean, I was definitely legit like, okay, I am on a mountain. Why? I know why. Because Corey's here. Didn't I ask?
I was so thrilled that you were, I was like, oh, you remember me.
Wait, but
That's really cute.
But we didn't know each other that well at that point. I mean, we only know each other for a couple of days, but he was like, my girlfriend's name is Caitlin, and you're Corey. And I was like, oh, that's so
right? I was about to say, I remember saying that. I remember going, you're Corey, right? I mean, like, that's the level of like, whoa, like, you're Corey.
So scary.
Yeah.
That's why I went down to ski patrol.
Yeah.
Because these stories terrified me.
And I will say that part of the way down, I was like, you do remember me doing some of those sweet moves, right? He's like, yeah, I remember that.
I did.
Yeah,
Cool, because I don't want you to take away anything from this.
Yeah.
I don't care if you remember your birthday or where you live, as long as you think I'm cool.
You saw,
50-50 grind.
you saw me do a kickflip on a snowboard. Almost impossible. I jumped, came out of my bindings, flipped the board around, rebounded, then hit the ground. He did that twice.
Like a lot of times.
Will you pass me another one of
We gotta go
these
snowboarding.
elk juices?
Yeah, well, actually, how about this?
Oh,
We're
that's
gonna
good,
get
that's
into,
good.
we can just drink that out of the can if you want before the class.
There you go.
We'll do a little segment called Bombers Club, which recurring segment on our comics episodes where we share a little something that one of our brewery friends has given us. We all go around and tell us a little bombing story. So this one is from our boys over at Woods Boss. It's part of their Barrel Age series. It's Above Tree Line, which is a Belgian-style triple brewed with Colorado alfalfa honey, coriander, aged in tequila barrels in collaboration with Elevation Brewing.
You look concerned, John.
It's just like, I'm sure this is good, but then sometimes you read all these ingredients and you taste it and you're like, I mean, that's, it's still beer. That's still beer, though.
Yeah, I like what you did there.
Yeah, like,
you didn't have to.
I like how you threw in all these elements, but man, is that still beer?
Yeah.
But
I specifically really love stuff that's aged in tequila barrels, and so the head brewer is like, I got just the thing.
I've never tried that, but I like the stuff
that
that's
actually
aged in
smells.
like whiskey or bourbon barrels.
Yeah, I mean, so that stuff's gonna have more like an oaky kind of vanilla flavor to it.
Oh,
a lot of
stick
times.
this right
But
up my
I mean,
asshole. This is
Are we
good.
cheersing? Are we eating?
Of course we can.
Yeah.
Eating? I just said
Eat this
eating.
beer!
No.
Glass and all. That's also a segment on the show we didn't tell you about. You have to eat a glass.
But you
have to go to the hospital.
Emily, break out the funnel. All right.
I wish you would have told me. I wouldn't have filled up on glassware before we came.
I've actually got merch, which is a shot glass.
This is very good.
Yeah, what do you get? Are you smelling anything in particular?
I mean, it straight up smells like a rum punch.
Yeah.
Like a boat drink. It straight up smells like a
rum, awesome.
Orange juice grenadine cocktail.
Mm-hmm. To me,
and
it smells like
with pennies in it.
When my buddies tried to brew cider in college, and they didn't add enough sugar, but it was really strong. So we all played cider pong and got hammered.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And that's what it
smells like a memory.
Yeah.
Caitlin, also, I've never heard you use the say buddies before.
Yeah.
So you're a beer drinker now.
Yeah.
It's changed up the nomenclature. Like my buddies do, we're fucking.
I was trying to think of the right word for them.
Yeah, they're gonna start saying folks soon.
Yeah.
I do say
folks. A lot. I'm a folkster.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, anything that's aged in tequila barrels is gonna have a bit of that like effervescence that you'd normally expect from tequila, but a strong agave presence as well. And you get, ideally, with the coriander, you get a little more of like a spice note, and then some heavier sweetness from the honey.
And let's just and for the listeners, this is a nice 11% alcohol by volume, which I believe makes this barley wine.
No, I mean barley wine's its own style. That's like an old school kind of thing. Like a barley wine used to be a designation for a certain ABV, but not anymore.
This is the kind
You're
of
such a historian.
This is the kind of shit my friend used to trick me into. Twice he's done this, where he got me around and didn't tell me till after I drank two. He's like, "Oh, by the way, that's like 11%." Yeah. I'm like, "You fucking asshole."
Well, stuff like this too.
Give me a third.
Stand up and be like, "I'm gonna go snowboarding."
I could switchfoot, you know. By the way, your forehead's bigger than the rest of your head. Honesty.
It's also the name of my favorite band. Switchfoot,
dude. That's a real band.
Yeah.
I said it before. I was like, is that a band that is like okay? Is it like Yellow Card? Why do I conflate?
They're way more hardcore.
They're like kind of pop punk, but they're a Christian band.
You get a free Switchfoot CD when you buy a Nissan Rogue.
That's why I got the whole box set in my car. I'm a preferred customer. So, I mean, anytime you're drinking stuff that's like higher ABV like this, it's always nice to split with friends. But actually, before I forget, I remember before I ever knew much about beer at all, a friend of mine was homebrewing in college as well, and I knew that he had sugar. I think he had said something along those lines, like I didn't put enough sugar in it, so the ABV isn't as high. So when he left the room, I was just staying there playing video games, and I thought to make it boozier, I could put more sugar in the finished product.
No.
It doesn't really work that way.
No.
So I came to find out later.
How did that taste?
You literally started at the bottom.
What did that taste like? You just like stirred sugar into the beer?
Yeah, but it all settles at the bottom anyway. You know, it's not like
okay.
It's not like a hot tea.
Yeah.
I feel like I've done this before too.
Put sugar in beer.
I feel like now I can. I live the memories that you tell me. Like I remember drinking sugar beer, and I remember playing fucking beer pong with shitty cold brew. Yeah. What you got, Steve? I might have been there as well. Oh my God! You were on the grassy knoll. You're in your 60s.
Oh, man, dude, don't throw me under the bus like that. Don't throw me under the bus like that.
That's literally the point of the show, is to out you as being JFK's killer. It's a long play. It's a long con. We've been doing it for years.
You're a CIA operative. We're drinking beer. He's drinking stem cells. That's how he stays so youthful.
It's true.
Ironically, I was on the west side, which nobody expected.
Didn't even see it coming.
There was one time I was like freshman in college. We got some absinthe from Czechoslovakia. And you're supposed to melt sugar onto absinthe for the flavor.
Yeah.
But we didn't have any sugar, so we just mixed it with Mountain Dew.
No.
It was as gross as it sounds. Absolutely disgusting.
That sounds like you would have a permanent hangover. Like one you would never recover from.
I mean, we were young.
But you thought you were like, we're going to trip off of this because it's absinthe.
You don't tell, and I didn't see anything. My friend said he saw like a little man, and I'm like,
Your friend's a liar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to him much since.
Well, it's also like, from what I understand with like absinthe hallucinations, it's not like psychedelic in any way. It's the high. It was just an unregulated high content of alcohol, so high that you were on the verge of alcohol poisoning.
Yeah.
And you're like, your vision was just like going in and out.
So it just kind of feels like you're tripping.
Or you just are like, basically the room was spinning, and you're like, I must be tripping because the room is revolving around me.
Yeah, well, there's also, I think, there's something about how, like, it's, with severe alcoholism, it can cause you to hallucinate, like, if you go without it.
Well, dude, really quickly, the doctor in the ER after I hit my head, Dr. Serpico, that was his fucking name.
That's so fucked up. The goddamn chances.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dr. Serpico.
Dr.
Serpico, but he was like,
Feel the breaking neck and steamboat. Go
right. I was like, after he came back, he was like, your CAT scan's good, you're good to go, just take it easy, don't hit your head again. I asked him if I could drink, he goes, no. And then he goes, wait, be honest with me, are you an alcoholic? And I was like, I'm not. He goes, okay, if you're an alcoholic, I would say drink.
You just had a look.
So you don't go into it. Is that what I'm looking like to you, brother? Whoop, there it is. Holy shit, Steve, you also did that to Nancy Kerrigan? You took out her name? Who paid you?
We're going to find out a lot about the history that I've done here.
Yeah. Sean just gained telepathic abilities and can now ride Switchfoot. So,
I mean, if I were a former government assassin / handler, I'd hide out as a comedian in Denver.
Handler. I love that word. But actually, so the I don't know if have you guys ever heard of the beer Delirium Tremens?
Hell yeah, bro.
Okay, you know how it has like the pink elephants on it? So that's where that comes from. It comes from the hallucinations that people get when they're withdrawing from alcoholism.
Is it pink elephant generally?
Well, it's like you hallucinate off and you see something. I don't
Is
know where
that
the pink
what
elephants came from.
Dumbo is? What's happening with Dumbo?
It's mostly booze.
Yeah.
Dumbo drinks beer, right?
It's been a minute. I'm gonna be honest.
The most familiar I am with Dumbo at this point is the ride at Disneyland. That's the only. I don't remember the movie.
I thought you were talking about the neighborhood.
Yeah, was there a remake with Danny DeVito in it like a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, like a live action?
Yeah.
That would not be surprising at all.
Yeah, I think they did.
Dumbo definitely drinks beer and starts hiccuping.
Yes.
And starts out of his trunk blowing bubbles of like pink elephants.
Yeah.
So his ears are just a metaphor for how far you can go when you're fucked up. You feel like you can fly, man. Yeah. I can go anywhere, man.
That's
I gotta leave this circus.
I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna go for it, dude, because I'm living it.
Yeah, because that's what I think delirium tremens actually is. I think it's like a medical
What
term.
a weird decision to name your beer that.
Yeah, delirium tremens.
Yeah.
I do really like the art, though, the pink elephant. I've always wanted to design.
Okay, severe alcohol withdrawal symptoms such as shaking, confusion, and hallucinations. Delirium tremens usually starts 2 to 5 days after the last drink and can be fatal. So,
Whoa!
That's
crazy.
like naming your beer like vomiting on the street and not remembering yesterday.
Or that's like naming your heroin overdose.
instead of good time.
Yeah. You know what's funny is during the pandemic I rewatched for the fucking sixth time.
We were just talking about heroin. He's like, all right, so
here we go. I rewatched The Wire.
Yeah.
And
That's how I feel about The Wire. I like tie my burps based on what Sean is saying in my reviews of them.
The Wire is a hearty meal of a show.
I get it. 3 seasons lead up to the last.
Dude, it's great. But there's throughout the show, whenever they're around, specifically season 3, whenever they're around heroin dealers, they're shouting out the WMD and the different names of but one of the big popular names is Pandemic. So throughout season 3,
that's bizarre.
They're like, Pandemic! Got that pandemic over here! And I'm like, I hear you, man. So do we. We got that here too, man. You guys got that shit in Baltimore?
WMD's one?
WMD is one. And
George Bush would really go find that shit.
Pandemic, then there's like, I don't remember any of the other ones though. Sorry, heroin dealers. I can't remember.
Well, you know what you like, and that's important.
Chartreuse.
WMD.
Not heroin.
Yeah. I would name if I was a heroin dealer, I would name it like booger butt, or just like a really cute name, like got that tickly spice.
Who wants some tickle taffy? I got it over here.
Got that vein snot over here.
Who wants to lay down and feel nice for a while?
got that sore juice.
Before we finish this bomber,
is that open orgies?
Yeah, we're like supposed to talk about bombing.
Yeah, we're supposed. Yeah, but that's kind of the point.
I know.
Tangents. We go off on weird places. Yeah, you guys got any memorable ones that you're willing to share with us? Would you like any more?
So your snowboarding story does not count.
No, that's not. No.
You didn't bomb.
Yeah.
You didn't bomb snowboarding. You figured out the right way to go.
Yeah, I'll take more. Well, I'll just say that there is a story of me bombing on my album that I told live this weekend.
Yeah.
So I don't feel the need to reiterate it on the podcast when you've heard it before.
But you know, there's more than me that listens to this podcast.
Is there?
I know, but it feels weird to tell
Don't tell that we have sponsors listening to this shit.
Wait a second. You're telling me other people listen to the podcast than the host of those podcasts? Fuck!
It's weird.
I didn't realize that this whole time. Yeah, I don't know which bomb story you're talking about. I mean, I do, but I'm just trying to trick you.
Can you know this, please?
I'll just say that there was one time that I got too high and then had to go on stage and forgot how to speak to human beings.
That seems
therefore
terrifying
bombed.
to me.
Yeah, it was awful.
Hey, Caitlin, what city was that in?
It was here in Denver.
Yeah,
but that's on my album. But there was one time that I got too drunk to perform very early on.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's the correct response. But yeah, I was at a festival that I didn't know anybody at, and it was like really early, and there were some like big dogs there, and I felt uncomfortable, so I was like, I will drink, and then I'll be cool.
Just some
And
some Great Danes walking around, some real big dogs. Those are huge.
Yep.
These guys seem handsy.
Like a Burmese hound dog. Right?
Yeah.
That would have been great. If there were dogs there, I would have not needed to.
Felt so much better.
Yeah, I would have just hung out with the dogs. But yeah, I just got up on stage and like forgot all of my lyrics in the middle of the song and just truly, this is not a funny story.
Oh, God. No, that's fine. No, it's like, so two things. I forgot a punchline to one of my jokes on Sunday.
That was funny.
Yeah, that was great.
You just really kind of skipped ahead and you were like, oh, fuck. And they were like, do it. And you were like, I'll come back to it. And I'm like, you ever did.
I did, and nobody laughed. I'm like, see, isn't everybody glad we went back to it? Which did get a laugh, just being embarrassed about it or whatever. But yeah, that hasn't happened in a minute. But it's a terrifying. I don't know if it's terrifying or if it's just kind of like whatever, because it is so momentum based. Yeah. That when you're like, oh, I just had a lapse.
And it feels like it's the same feeling as when you're just talking to someone and you forget a word. Where you're just like, what's that word? But you can't. The audience is not someone you're having a conversation with, so you have to in your brain be like, what's that joke? What's that word? And then sometimes it just doesn't appear.
Yeah, it just doesn't come, and you're like, so do you remember how you like segued from there, or like?
No, this is the most embarrassing part. I literally like finished the song halfway through and like said like I'm done and just walked off the stage.
What? No!
Wow.
This
was like maybe a year in. That was so embarrassing.
This would be a great time to tell everybody about Caitlin's TV deal that she signed because big dogs are there.
Big dogs love it.
The weed thing.
Yeah. Animal Planet. They don't know what she's saying anyway. She just gotta go.
I feel like because I was so new, I wasn't like even cognizant enough in my or confident enough to be like, oh, I'm sorry guys, I'm just drunk or I'm high, and like segue to a completely different bit. I was just like, I gotta get out of here.
Abort.
That's we've had, let's see, Ralphie May got too high to go on stage. The Lucas brothers got too high to go on stage.
Yeah. Reggie Watts did.
Reggie went on stage.
Oh yeah, that
was the first. No, he performed.
I'm sorry. It was too hard to remember how his machine worked.
Yes, and it was
shit.
It was the first High Plains.
Yeah.
It was at the Gothic Theater.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a fucking awesome show. It was packed, but it was like 8 of us on there. Everybody had a great set. Reggie had drank a bunch of weed soda.
Oh, that shit was
THC soda.
Dude, I drank some of that shit, and it was like it made me like high and like jittery, but also tired as fuck.
And I remember,
what a terrible combination.
And I remember being in the back. We went all the way in the back to watch, and he came out and he like was fiddling with his thing. And Reggie is a very I've never seen him do the set in the same order. You know, like with his. And I remember at certain point he's like, I just have to come clean here that I can't quite recall the functionality of. My friend here, my friend this machine that I spend most of my days cohorting with. And then he talked about the weed stuff. But we were all like, oh, this is clearly a bit. But then like 20 minutes in, it was like, he actually doesn't.
Yeah.
He's clearly... But it was still fucking funny. It was still very funny watching him be that goddamn
Pete Holmes got real fucked up too.
Yeah,
that was
the year I was there as well.
Yeah.
And he just went first.
He went first and did like 7 minutes and was like, I'm too high, and then just got in a limousine.
got a limocopter.
Yeah, with Caitlin. Yeah.
He got a
Caitlin got into a
limocopter.
limo and they're like, let's blow this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Steve, you smoke a lot more than I do. I've gone on stage tripping before because I do that a lot more. Not like tripping a lot, but tripping enough, I guess. But so going on stage, because when I smoke weed, I get really quiet and I get really so that makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But you smoke a lot more than I do. How often would you say like you rip before you go on stage?
80% of the time.
Yeah.
70 to 80.
Just doesn't phase you. Yeah.
No, sometimes I think it actually helps me. Sometimes it hinders me, for sure. But sometimes I feel like it helps me, like, mellow the vibe of the room, especially if it's like a fucking bar show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because do you smoke much?
I do, but I will get really quiet as well, or I will start second guessing everything, or I'll want to go on too many tangents and forget like where I started off. And so it's like a very bad idea to go on stage high for me.
It's like, where
so
were
I
we
don't
again?
do that.
Yeah.
I don't think I have gone on stage high since the story that's on my album.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Which is like 7 years ago.
I feel like that's enough to just kind of turn you off from it for a long time.
But I mean, also like Caitlin's tolerance for weed like pisses me off. It's so good because I've seen like the time we came here years back and we went to a certain friend of ours, Denver comedian. I won't say his name because maybe I don't know, but let's say it's a Jesse Cluten Amsterdam with a hyphen in there.
Steve Hofstadter?
Yeah. No.
It's Alan. Caitlin Heron.
Alan.
It's Alan Keaton.
ACH.
ACH.
Why didn't you just say so?
don't know.
But he had a bunch, like he doesn't I don't think he does edibles, but he just had a bunch of chocolate bars at his house and was like, yeah, have at it. And Caitlin just ripped down like 2 of these things like they were actually just chocolate bars. And I was like, whoops, that's an...
Did you find out retroactively? Like you found out?
I knew that they were weed chocolate bars, but I just didn't understand milligrams at that point because it was like the first time that I'd been to a place where it was legal.
Yeah. And
so
also,
I was like, of course, you eat a whole chocolate bar, and it was peanut butter chocolate, and I was like, that's delicious. I'm going to eat it.
in a homemade situation, I've never encountered a brownie or any baked good that was low THC. You know, like everything that people make at home.
Yeah.
Whether it's
make it as fucked
people
up
like just have like a corner of a square. Who wants to have a corner of a square of brownie?
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to eat the whole damn thing.
Like,
it's very real here. You have to ask people.
Yeah.
I ask people ahead of time, all the time, if I'm eating something.
I do
Is
now.
there any weed in this?
But I mean, I'm not in New York, but here for sure. But like back then, you just didn't know.
But that was the thing. Like, she was fucking out of her mind high. I had to shower with you, if you remember, and it wasn't like a sensual like couple thing. It was like I should get in here with you to make sure you remember how to bathe, and then like getting.
That's how I felt with you the other day on the mountain.
Pretty much. but then like hours later after the show, she was just like, "Oh, I'm good." And it was like, I would like if I ate as much weed as you just ate, or I would have if I had as much THC in your system, I'd be high right now telling this story still 6 years later.
I
but she was
recently
like,
got more high than I've ever gotten in a while, in which I couldn't tell what thoughts were in my head and what I was saying out loud.
Wow.
And that was weird, and now I haven't smoked in a while.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
That's scary.
I remember the last time I ate some brownies that I hadn't even smoked in a long time, and it was same kind of gusto.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I'll just have a weed brownie before I go to this Buffalo Bills game.
Which one?
That one right there.
This one?
No, the can.
This one.
Give me, using your money.
He's like,
Ooh,
we got multiples of those
creamsicle.
guys. Yeah,
Creamsicle,
Steven's had
good
that shit.
shit.
Oh yeah, we know.
Creamsicle.
Sorry,
It's
continue
okay.
your story.
We're talking
This is the
IPAs,
point. This is the point of the podcast. So I go.
There is no weed
I'm
in here, right?
high, yes, I'm hot. It's actually straight LSD. So that's why the label looks so crazy.
Wow. Lactose is in now. LSD.
Yeah,
Lactose sugar dream.
That's actually pretty good. Somebody should definitely name a beer.
Has someone made a beer that also...
Liquid shit darts. Sorry. Sorry.
Wow,
That was
Caitlin,
scary.
great suggestion. I knew that was your voice when you introduced yourself earlier.
Has someone made a beer that also has weed in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been
absolutely.
done. But it's not.
That was the first thing that got done. They were like, we can put this in liquid form.
I know that people have done that.
It hasn't been done on like a grand scale.
There's also people that market their beers to have weed in it, even though it doesn't. They literally just like say like, this is a like an IPA with sativa, and it's like it's just an IPA. There's no weed in it at all. Small print is like contains no THC.
Let me just go ahead and get you guys some
so
sponsorship.
they like sativa in during the brewing process at some point. Or like,
Really?
they just say it. That's
Well, let me go ahead and do it. Let me go ahead and run some ads.
You want to do a read first?
Creamsicle IPA. I mean, this stuff makes you a better human being. This shit's fucking delicious. Caitlin, you cannot have any of this.
No.
Caitlin's lactard.
Oh yeah.
Steve's allergic to peanuts, so
yeah.
I don't think anything else.
Is there any peanut ale
in there?
Wait, this is actually fucking fantastic.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Epic Brewing Company makes really awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Shout out to our sponsor, Epic.
Is there something else that I can?
Yeah, so the rest of these are
So
IPAs
good.
of different kinds of varieties.
I
which
love
we'll try
all of them.
and all that stuff.
Juicy bits to use.
Actually, so before we pivot,
Wait, we have any? Wait, what's your bomb story, or is it mine?
It's your turn.
Yeah. Is that what you were about to say?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Okay,
You guys
so
do the show.
I know. I'm sorry. As like a producer, I'm like, are we on track? What happened?
Ish.
Your bomb story.
I mean, the one I haven't really. So, the worst bomb of my life thus far, because you never know, was not that long ago. Was February 9th, 2019. About a month before that. I'm sorry, about a week and a half before that, I was hired by. Well, my agent called me, and was basically like, my agent at the time was like, "Hey, I got a gig for you. It's a private birthday party," which already.
How old is the person? Do you know?
Well, that was the thing. They were like, it's for some the guy's in his 50s. His son's throwing him the birthday party, and I know it sounds like a nightmare, and it's going to be a shit show. But the guy who's throwing the party, the son, used to be my assistant. This is my agent saying this at the time. Used to work, so he understands how a comedy show needs to happen. So I don't think it'll be that bad. Do you want it? It's money. You're not doing anything else on that Saturday. I was like, great. And I get on the phone. Oh, I'm sorry. I show up to the venue and talk to the son. And basically, it's a birthday for a dad. It's a 55-year-old man's birthday / graduation party. Because the guy was a successful businessman who, at the age of 51 years old, decided, I didn't get my chance to get an education and my business is fine, so I am going to go to college.
Great. Just what we needed.
Yeah, so it was his graduation / birthday party. Now,
what was his degree in?
That I don't know.
I want to know more about
that. I don't know, but his business was fabrics. He was in the fabrics business. That's all I really know about.
Textiles.
Right.
As some might say.
And they were Long Island fabrics. And I don't think that's the name of the business. That's just where they were from and what they did. So I show up, and let me paint the picture. It's a bar, a standard bar. You walk in, and then in the back is a larger room with another bar all the way to the back, and the walls are lined with booths, right? But nowhere in this room is there a stage. Or stage lighting.
Stand in the middle.
Or a designated stage area. So I'm like, okay, clearly I'm going to be in the fucking round. And here's the thing about in the round. Fuck that. Fuck in the fucking round.
Who's behind me?
This is the thing. I know Louis and George Carlin and so many people have done it. And guess what? They only fucking did it once. They didn't switch to full-time in-the-round comedians. Because comedy's already difficult enough without having to be like, oh, I should probably turn around and perform to the people who've been looking at the back of me while I've been doing all these facial impressions.
Yeah. Just do 5-minute
or facial
in according with the compass. Be like, and the north side gets the dick jokes.
I said facial impressions, which is weird. Facial impressions.
You don't have a shot act. It's 6 minutes of facial impressions.
I just never understood the idea of like, I just want people all around me. It's like you're fucking...
You're right. I don't think musicians like to play that way either.
No. Musicians, like if they're that big that they're doing a stadium, will have different stages that they do stuff on. Yeah. And the stuff that's in the middle in the round is like all of the dancers around them and like maybe them on like a thing that's turning.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
Yeah, there's a thing
It's in the middle.
Not one person opening up their mind and soul for a room. Oh, I gotta keep turning. Yeah. I don't get that. Like, put the audience in front of me so I can focus in one direction, for Christ's fucking sake. Also, there's nowhere to go. If shit goes, if you're bad, if it's a bomb, well, now you're surrounded on all sides.
I wonder if I'm bombing on this side.
Yeah.
So like, I'm like, all right, I guess I can handle this. It's a birthday party. It's gonna suck. And I talk to the guy, and he's just like, yeah, man, I vetted you. My dad loves storytelling comedy. You know, it's gonna be great. I know people are, and that's the other thing. These people had all been drinking and partying for hours at this point.
Yeah.
Great. Perfect.
And dinner had just happened. So it was a thing of like, don't worry, I'm going to get everybody in here. They're setting up the mic now, you know, and they bring the mic over, or they bring me over to look at the mic, and it's like a cordless mic, of course.
I knew it. I knew that was coming.
Well, then here's the thing. But then I took a second look at it and was like, oh no, this isn't fucking cordless at all. It's like a shit Radio Shack mic.
Wow.
With a 4-foot cord.
No.
A 4-foot cord. You can't ride certain roller coasters if you're fucking 4 feet tall. So imagine, say 4-foot cord, you're not going anywhere.
Is Sean Patton a roller coaster? Is
Dude.
that what you're trying to
Hell yeah. It's, my comedy's frightening and it might make you vomit.
Yeah. And you have to be a certain height
You
to
have
watch
to
it.
be tall enough to get it. Well, that was the thing. They were like, we're going to plug it into the wall unit or whatever. And I was like, where's that? It's like, right here by this booth. So I'm basically, imagine again, the room lined with booths. I'm in the bottom corner with a 4-foot cord.
Yeah.
Right? And as this is happening, the guy goes, hey man, look, only do 45. Don't you have to do a full hour. Just do 45.
Kind of him.
I was like, oh, thanks, man. And then he introduces me to his uncle, who is an anchor on a news channel in Worcester, Massachusetts, who's like, I'm going to bring you up. I have a lot of public speaking experience. And I was like,
Just do time.
great.
Bill Murray.
Well, here's what he does. And then, right before he brings me up, the son's like, hey, by the way, only do 30. Yeah, he keeps dropping, because even he realizes this is not going to be good.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'm basically, okay, the guy brings me on, and he goes and does my intro like a news anchor reading a prompt. Just like, hello, ladies and gentlemen, everyone here to celebrate Fred's birthday and his accomplishment. His name wasn't Fred, but I don't use his real name. And we're all here for the same reason. And in fact, I wish I would have said Fred right as you belched.
I held on to it for a second, waiting for it.
Could we try and work that into like a human bleeping?
Yes.
So Fred.
That's what we were talking about.
Fred. But by the time people realize someone's talking into a microphone, he's already finished.
Here's Sean with the weather.
Here's Sean with the weather jokes. If he had said that.
And now he's going to do sports.
Dude, it was fucking brutal because, like, I'm trying to play to half the room that's in this seating area and the other half that's in the bar. And they won't switch, right? And so it's like, when I'm focusing on them, the bar's going insanely loud. They stop. They're shouting. When I switch back to them, now they quiet down, but now the room goes crazy.
Yeah.
It's like a game of whack-a-mole where the fucking moles all have helmets and no necks.
Yeah.
Nothing hurts.
And they're wasted.
And they're on steroids.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Could you imagine dealing with that mole problem? Jesus Christ.
Steroids
with moles, and they've got a 6-pack
brutal.
of Busch Light.
Brutal. And I kept trying. I would do a little crowd work, and then people would be like, "Tell a joke." And as soon as I'd go to tell a joke, shit would start going crazy. I was like, I can't. So I don't look. In comedy, I'm a marathon runner, straight up. Like I'm Kenya, you know. I'm good at that. Give me a marathon. Short jokes, not my strength, but I have a couple. One of them that I fire off, that's like a good piece of bait. That anytime I cast it out there, it catches, and I can reel them in. I throw this out there, nothing. Zero reaction because the fish have all been eating fucking pasta and drinking Prosecco all goddamn night. Right?
Worcester's a hot dog city.
Yeah. Well, no, this was in Manhattan. So they were a Massachusetts family.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
But from Long Island in Massachusetts. So basically, about 15 minutes into my set, the news anchor guy gets up and just takes the microphone away from me. And he goes, "Well, that's enough of that."
Whoa!
And I was just like, "Okay." And I retreat immediately into one of the bathrooms and it's like single stalls, little bathrooms. Lock myself in there and just got to calm myself down because I was like, Jesus Christ, that was fucking awful. I don't think, all right, I've just got to walk out there, grab my coat from the coat check person and leave. Coat check person is at the end of the bar. At the end of the bar is the son who hired me and the mother. Yeah. And I see them, but before I see them, there's the dad, the guy whose birthday it is. He's at the bar getting a drink. And I have to do this. I like go up to him like, hey man, sir, I'm terribly sorry for ruining your birthday. He goes, buddy, you didn't ruin a damn thing. My son needed to learn a lesson. And then got his drink. Wow. I have no clue to this day. Like, my son thinks he knows how to book entertainment for parties, and he doesn't. And you're proof.
I mean, that's so hurtful without necessarily understanding the context of everything that's happening.
So awful.
It was,
but I also understand.
Yeah. That didn't piss me off. What was awesome was...
You're my son's mistake.
Exactly. But I'm walking, like, there's no way to not walk past the son and the wife. Also, I can see that the son has the checkbook out, and he's talking with his mother, and it looks to me like she is trying to talk him out of pain.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Instead, when I get close enough, what I hear is, like we're in a play, like what I hear is, no, honey, pay him twice as much. I guarantee this is the only money he'll ever make doing it.
Oh, man!
Like, and then, like I said, like she was, like it was scripted, turned and right into my eye, like face to face. And to her credit, she just gave me like a, right?
Yeah.
Like a straight up, like, am I wrong? Look, and then shot past me.
Whoa.
And the dude wrote me the check, and I did a set after that. I don't remember the set at all. I just remember the kid who books it, very funny comedian named Sammy, going like, "Are you okay? Because you look like you've just been assaulted.
Yeah,
like we were assaulted on the street." And I was like, "I just bombed so bad." And then I did a spot, and then I met Caitlin at a spot at the cellar later, and I had like a good set, but I was still shook. And I told Will Sylvince, one of the co-hosts, and all he could do, I was like telling him the story like broken, and he's just laughing at me the whole time. He's like, fuck them, you got their money, right? And in my head I was like, I do, but I can't accept it. And because I was also, by this point I had some drinks, and then to Caitlin I was like, I'm going to tear this check up, I can't. I bombed
fully
so...
grabbed it from
she took it away from me.
Because wasn't at the time like more than you made in like a night, like...
Oh no! Well, I mean, this was 2 years ago.
Okay, a club like weekend.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. It was 2019. So 2 years ago. It was one night. It was $2,000. But I was so
What? $2,000.
Who doesn't need $2,000? I certainly did at the time. But I was so distraught that I was like, I can't do it. And she took it away from me and was like, we're gonna sleep on this.
Yeah.
And then the next day I was like,
I said, bitch, I'll take that money.
Oh, that's what I said.
Right.
Well, that's I can speak girlfriend though, and you meant we're gonna do this together, sweetie. No, that's not what you.
Yeah, I appreciate what Caitlin said.
Bitch, fuck you, I'll take that money.
I had a comic one time, like I gave them money after the show, and they literally like they bombed so bad that they slapped my hand away.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's disrespectful, but also like, you work for one of the largest comedy producers.
Yeah.
You write for SNL, so I don't really give a shit. Like, I'll keep the $40.
Yeah.
I deposited the money, but it was just like. So this is my point, because I have a point to my bomb story. If you're going to involve, if you're going to involve comedy in a birthday party, it should be because the person whose birthday it is loves comedy, and you do it at a fucking stand-up comedy club.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing after the fact when we were like, remember we were like roundhouse talking about it at the Fat Black Pussycat, which is like the Sellers Bar, where we're just like, wait a second, why didn't they just come to a comedy show? Why did they hire a comedian in New
That's
York?
What rich people do.
Yeah, exactly.
His
higher
son
talent.
did learn his lesson. I think I'll never do that again.
Oh yeah, dude.
Next time he's getting house strippers.
Like a gentleman.
I mean, I'm being honest here. I was on stage probably, I'm going to say fully, because I'm remembering this 15 minutes. It was maybe closer to 20, but not a single fucking laugh. Not even like a physical acknowledgement of like, that's pretty good.
That's a pretty good joke, yeah.
No, just, I mean, it was like,
wait.
I was like PTSD. You remember, like, for like a year, I was like, that hurts. It still, it took about a year and a half.
This has nothing to do with you at all.
I know, but I carried
I have a
that
question,
shit.
though. How many guests were there?
70.
Okay.
Yeah.
In general,
I'm
to
guessing.
anyone listening to this podcast, or to anyone that suddenly hears it through osmosis,
Yeah.
do not hire entertainment for a party that has like less than 100 people. Because if it's that small of a group, they just want to get drunk and talk to each other.
Yeah.
This excludes weddings, but like, don't do that.
Anything that's at a bar or something like that. Like everybody there thinks they're going for just this party.
They just want to talk to each other.
They're already boozed up, yeah.
I will throw this out there if anyone here is listening. If you do want to hire a comedian who's normally pretty good, but you'd like to just watch them stumble over their material, that's also pretty good, and just bomb for 19 minutes or so, and you're willing to pay them a few grand, I'm still up to do it. I'll do it. I mean, like, I've swallowed the pandemic has taught me one thing. Pride is delicious.
Yeah.
Eat it. Swallow that shit.
I do want to get back to this, but just so this beer doesn't get any.
Oh, that's the end.
Yeah. No, I know, but I want to keep.
Oh yeah, she just gave us a hang loose.
I can pour some.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start.
There's another beer.
We're doing IPAs tonight.
Is this acid in red cups? Are you tricking us?
You know me too well. So you don't have to finish. We know because we got a bunch of beers lined up, but just little tasters of things. But we're basically going to run you guys through some of Colorado's best IPAs, both hazy and West Coast style versions, and just give us your honest opinion
also,
about it.
as everyone knows, IPA stands for It's Pale Ale.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's Pale Ale.
I thought it was for IP a lot.
Yeah, indeed. Either one works. But so this one actually in particular is Wellbrook Juicy Bits. It's considered by many people to be the best IPA in Colorado.
They actually just put out.
What is it called again?
Juicy Bits.
Ooh, I like
Great
Juicy
name.
Bits. Yeah.
Great, like honestly,
got that Juicy Bits right here.
Random ones from
just
over here.
I
was like, I like the name, I like the artwork. I do illustration sometimes, not to brag or anything. But I like the way it looked, and it's fucking delicious.
Yeah. What is it you like? What is it you like about it? I mean, can you describe any flavors?
It tastes very citrusy.
Yeah.
Tons of orange juice.
High citrus.
Yeah, so it tastes a lot like orange juice. And if you just want to harken back to your childhood, when you can pick oranges off your neighbor's lawn and then run away.
Because who didn't do that?
That's what it tastes like.
We all grew up in Florida.
That's where I grew up there. I grew up in California.
Yeah, California. Yeah.
That was great. Great improv. You just and I also grew up in California.
I am 2 twins and 1 person.
I like it because it tastes like a snare drum.
Yeah?
Just a pop in your mouth.
Ready, just
pop. You know what I mean? That's what I like about IPA in general.
It's in a can, so it's a little tinny.
Yeah, but it just tastes like it has like a pop in your mouth. You know, like a lager's like a tom-tom. It's just like a boom, boom, boom. I do like a pop in the mouth.
I do like a doom, doom.
And by pop in the mouth, Caitlin means a punch. She likes to beat the shit out of me.
I like a doom, doom and a boom, boom.
I like a zoom, as well. You got one of
those. All right, let's rate it in here. Let's rate it in.
No, this is, I like, it gets in your nose, which I like.
Yeah, it's mostly because you tilted your head back really far.
Yeah.
And unorthodox drinking.
And I snorted it. No, this is a very good IPA. It's sharp as fuck, which I like. That's why I like IPA. It's sharp and it bites. It's like drinking a shark.
Yeah. This one's a little softer than some of them. It's not
really softer.
Damn. Yeah, it's way juicier. It's just a little
compared
juicy bits.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Compared to a West Coast IPA, this isn't as dry or crisp, but in terms of how
it's not
easy IPA. Well, okay, so this would be a good example. So you're drinking the creamsicle, right?
Right.
So which one's got like a softer? Do you think?
Oh, the creamsicle is way softer.
Softer, right?
Yeah,
because that's more of a traditional hazy at this point, and the fact that they add lactose to it, which isn't uncommon for a lot of hazies these days. That gives it more like body texture.
No lactose in this one.
No.
They actually put out. I read an article. I forgot who posted it, but they named the top.
Otherwise, it'd be bad news for Caitlin.
Yeah.
They put out the top 3 beers in Colorado, and there was La Folie from New Belgium.
Yeah.
The Slow Pour Pilsner from Bierstead, which I think everybody agrees is one of the best beers in Colorado.
And is a supporter of the show.
And one of the best comedy shows in the city of Denver. Sitting Tap at Bierstead will be coming back. And Juicy Bits by Millworks was the other one.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody disagrees.
If you're lactose intolerant and you drink creamsicle, the IPA will stand for I poop a lot. Or I piss ass.
I piss ass.
I piss ass.
This is also a punk band.
Which is how this IPA set tastes.
They open for Switchfoot. Yeah. It's actually pretty great. Yeah. All right, so the scale here is from 1 to 5, so just whatever number you want to give it.
5.
5 for Caitlin.
Dig it.
I'm gonna lay a sweet 4.6 on it.
4.6. Ooh, it's basic. Yeah.
I go 4 or 5.
4 or 5. And then I'm going to go 4. Just because I like to leave way more room.
Oh, yeah. What do we want to try next?
Right. We'll try something else next, but I do kind of want to, while we're talking about some of this shit, Steve.
Deschutes!
Okay.
That's my boy. Are we trying?
No. You can open that guy, and then we'll get into it, and then
let's do a nice little.
Yeah. Woo-wee! So kind of segueing from, or carrying on the conversation from Sean's gig, which is kind of talking about corporate gigs at large. Mm-hmm. It's like, fuck, the money is so good, but I've never heard of anybody having a good experience. Like, and Steve, you have yours that you tell me you've talked about before, where you were doing a corporate gig for a dispensary, right?
Oh yeah, I thought you were just gonna say you tell me all the time. I just talk about this set every single time.
No. It was so first of all, you're not only doing a set for dispensary, so everybody's high.
And they're literally doing everybody's doing dabs and shit, which is like.
Did you pour too much in yours?
I might have poured too much.
I think you poured too much in yours. Why don't you give Caitlin some?
So I did get.
No, I think you guys need.
Do you want some? That's my point.
Here, Steve.
Yeah.
Take some.
Did you think the whole beer was for you?
No, I just forgot that it wasn't all for me.
I know, you got excited.
Deschutes is damn good.
Deschutes is really good.
I'm already well versed with this beer.
Yeah. So with corporate gigs at large, I mean, I don't know if you want to just rehash that story quick.
Oh yeah, I did a Christmas party for a local dispensary, and they had me book and everything. I paid really well, but everybody was doing dabs and. They just wanted to fucking have their Christmas party. They did not want to sit through comedy, and I don't.
Hire a Motown band.
Well, it's good. Part of it is comedy is so popular.
If it wasn't a dubstep DJ, these people would not.
Okay, sorry. Hire the band that your employees like to listen to.
I counter that dubstep DJ would have gone over.
At a fucking dispensary, shouldn't it be a dab step DJ?
Yeah.
A dab step.
More like dad step with that joke.
More like dad stop with that joke. Dad stop. That's what kind of DJ I am. I'm a dad stop DJ.
You guys like DJ stop? I got a couple turntables myself. Let me go dust them off.
I'll take a rubber band sandwich and make it snappy. Dead stop. Dead stop. And then it's the fucking Jimmy Buffett song.
And then, it keeps going.
And then it stops and it's like, I know you're hungry. What am I?
Dad stop.
Hungry, nice to meet you.
My name's Dad.
Dad stop.
Alright, well, this beer is Dad Shoots.
I mean, it inspired the Dad Stop run, so I'm giving it a 6.
Fresh squeezed IPA.
No, I do love Deschutes.
This one would fall a little bit more into the West Coast category.
Bend Oregon.
6.4%.
Yeah.
I'm a little upset that I'm not drinking it out of this because it's a pretty color.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 60 IBUs, which I thought would be higher.
Yeah.
But it's been a minute since I've had this. I'm very excited. I love Deschutes, so I just haven't had it in a very long time.
Last time I had this exact beer, no lie, was Thursday night, and about 8 of them, which led to me whacking my skull and I stayed on the mountainside. Yeah, we were packed. Wait, I just want to also point out that we get to Steamboat. This is just call back. Yeah. We get to Steamboat. We get in with my luggage. Corey just has a 6-pack.
Yeah.
I'm
like,
like,
in your trunk, I think.
Is that what it was? Yeah. And I'm like, hey, where should I put my luggage? And the lovely gentleman we're staying with is like, in that room. And you were like, want a beer for the road? like, sure. I got to go 18 feet. Yeah. Might as well have a beer with me. Mm-hmm. And it began.
Yeah, man.
Whatever you gave me was really good. It was a Summit. It was something from Summit.
No. It was, I'm pretty sure it was a Woods Boss Pilsner.
Well, it was damn good. I almost barfed a little bit.
It was a good.
I'm waiting for it.
Yeah.
Actually, at this point,
we're gonna ruin your equipment.
Put a tarp down.
It's worth it. The best.
One of these mics has been puked on before, and I won't tell you which one.
Maybe mine.
I'll tell you this: the best. If you are a barfer and you know you're gonna barf, the greatest barfs in the world are the ones that come mid. Right there. If I just barf, the ones that come mid sentence.
Sneaks up on you.
Those are the gnarly
ones. I feel like if that happens, you're not a barfer. Like,
you're
if you're a barfer,
like violently ill, or
you remove yourself from
or you're
the
an alcoholic.
situation. Yeah.
I was doing a festival in time. I don't know if you guys know AJ Grill, very funny comedian out of Milwaukee. But we were all standing around in a circle like this. Yeah. And it was the middle of the afternoon, maybe 1:30. and we had all been up drinking all night, and we started back at like 9 a.m. We're standing in a circle, and like mid-sentence, he just opens up his Nalgene and starts puking in his Nalgene.
Oh,
And screws the lid back on and just throws it in the trash and takes another sip of his beer.
Seamless.
Like, what the
Wow.
fuck? Yeah.
And
that's where we became best friends.
Yeah,
AJ is a great person.
The Nalgene bottle is the new like feather in the throat to the Roman Empire. Just like, I have to go to the vomitorium. Like, no, just use the Nalgene bottle. Those things only cost $850 a piece, right?
I was doing a park show over the summer, and there was no bathroom in sight, so there was an empty Nalgene bottle in my car, and I had to go piss in it.
No.
Like, I literally went and pissed in it in my car. I was just like, I'm sorry, I have to ruin you.
Wait. Crazy places you peed. Nalgene bottle in your car?
Yeah.
Wait, also, I gotta be honest.
Why just not?
Craziest places I beat or craziest things I beat?
Because the park is surrounded by a neighborhood. Like,
Why?
It's one of those.
This is an honest question. It seems like I'm being hoity-toity here. Why?
Hoity-toity.
Why? Hoity-toity. Why would you say
Take it. All right.
hoity-toity? Why would peeing in it ruin it? Serious question.
It is a serious question. I just don't know if I can mentally get past it.
Urine is pure. Urine is purer than most water we drink.
You see how much beer I drink. It's not pure.
That's
Also,
dare I say purer?
another Christian band that
It's
opened for
as pure as
Switchfoot.
point
You're
to
just
point.
pure.
The Lord, He pisses on me. He pisses away my sin.
That's what rain is.
Rain is the Lord peeing away my sin.
Cover my face.
That's what rain is.
In your glory.
Golden shower from on high.
By Switchfoot.
So, just shoot. Stress squeezed.
I mean, I'm loving
Wow.
it. Fresh Squeeze is killing it right now.
Yeah.
I'm digging it.
Yeah, I think the reason I'm going to do this one a 4 just because I love it, and it's a 4 just like the Wildworks because I feel like both of them are very well
Different styles.
very well done versions of different styles,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, I'll rock a 4.6 on this one as well.
I'm gonna go 4.2.
All right.
Give it a 4.2.
All right.
I'll give it a 4.5. I like it a lot. It just feels like
Everybody loves
an
decimal
evil.
points. God damn it!
sister of
You're going
juicy
4.5?
bits. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, would you guys say? I mean, Sean, you said you're more of an IPA guy.
Love IPA.
Do you guys prefer like West Coast or like hazy New England IPAs if you are going to drink them?
Literally don't know what that means.
Right. Okay. So that's didn't mean to.
What's funny is my favorite IPA is right fucking there. In that thing.
Oh, it's in the 6-pack?
Like in the 6-pack.
That's great, because I thought you were pointing at the camera.
No, I love it.
What is this? The Truman Show? All right.
Yeah.
This one?
But, no, you picked it off the bottom. I
We can do that one next.
fucking love Voodoo
Voodoo
Ranger.
Ranger.
I love everything about it. I know there's like hardcore beer guys out there who would give me a fucking fistful of bullshit for that,
A
but
fistful of bullshit.
something
Name of
about
a great punk band.
I
album title.
fucking love everything about this beer. I just do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just one of-
It's kind of it's whatever for me usually, to be honest. Just
Sure.
if it's the only thing available, sure. But otherwise, nothing prolific about it. for
Well,
the most part.
They've got a few variants.
It's a very prolific beer. It's got a guy with a skull on the front because he's wasted. He's died of cirrhosis of the liver.
Also,
It's actually Johnny Depp.
No.
before it was, if I recall correctly, before it was Voodoo Ranger, it was just Ranger.
Yeah.
And Nathan Lund did the commercials.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Now I don't like it anymore. Okay. Love you, Lundy. No, I'm hyperbolizing. This is one of my favorites. I love it. I love a Bell's Two Hearted.
Yeah.
So that's East Coast.
It's one of the best.
I love Bell's Two Hearted, and I love Wrought Iron by
Can you say
Hopatoulis.
that last word
Or
again?
Hopatoulis by Wrought Iron.
Sorry, can you? Oh, there you go.
Hopatoulis by Wrought
Yeah,
Iron.
they're in New Orleans. Brewery.
New Orleans Brewery. No.
Isn't Wrought Iron IPA is from Abita?
Wrought Iron. I'm sorry. I've got these. I'm conflating. Yeah. Wrought Iron IPA is delicious. Actually
Yeah,
no.
on the show,
And wait, hold on a
it's like a
second.
beer.
Hold on a second. Hey, hold on. Let me call. Hold on. They've been waiting. Yeah, they're good. That was a test to make sure you guys knew what you were talking about.
His phone was up.
I did see the time.
The sign was at the bottom.
I used to
What is Hopatoulis, boo? What is that?
Yeah, it's a street.
NOLA Brewery. It's NOLA Brewery.
What is Hopatoulis, man?
Yeah. Hopatoulis by
Sorry, that's
Nora.
Chocolatulis.
Hopatulas by Nola Brewery is very fucking good.
Yeah, I don't know why you're asking me. Because I used to be a really big beer snob when I was in my early 20s. And then I stopped drinking beer because I took a sober break. And then when I started drinking beer again, I just felt like I was a giant bully every time I drank beer. Yes, I'm good. So I like remember all of this, but I don't know what the difference is between like a West Coast and a hazy. And if your listeners already know that, then please.
No, that's okay. We never know when people jump in and are out of these episodes. So,
I just want to know.
West Coast IPA is typically clear,
or hoppy.
Yeah.
So, but hoppy is not necessary. So they're a little more bitter. Is usually what I would say.
I mean,
so.
I would say like a little skunkier.
Like the people.
Yeah, I would say I prefer a West Coast IPA. No, I don't. That's not true. I just don't. Like I love a West Coast IPA, but Bell's Too Hard is not West Coast.
It's more West Coast. So Bell's is in a unique. It's a really unique beer because all of their beers are unfiltered. So with hazy IPAs, the reason they're hazy is because they're typically unfiltered, right?
Yeah.
So that gives them a little more body and a little more sweetness, as opposed to a West Coast, which is dry, almost like bone dry, and then it has very piney, resinous kind of hops, as opposed to New England IPAs or hazy IPAs, which tend to be a lot like more sweeter, tropical fruit, mango, stuff like that. So Bell's has more of like a piney, because they use a lot of Centennial hop, and that gives it like a really piney bite, but it is unfiltered, so it's kind of a mix of.
Where is Bell's?
They're in Michigan.
Yeah, I like it. Like I think Bell's Too Hard. I'm deciding. I'm gonna put a stamp on it.
Bell's is one of the best.
Yeah.
I think Bell's Too Hard might be my favorite IPA.
It's like one of my go-tos.
Were you with me the night I went to the restaurant I got fired from, and it was like a month later they had like new people working, and I ordered a Bell's Too Hard, and the girl brought me like 2 of them.
Yes.
And that was you.
Yeah, that's when we were downtown. Right?
Yeah.
It was
that restaurant.
I forget.
The restaurant that I got fired from.
Illegal cheats.
Yeah.
You mean Legal Peters?
Legal duds.
And then a month later, I like went up and I was like, and it was something that I didn't know. Like, that's a pretty quick turnaround when you are done working in a place and a month later it's a different staff. Yeah. And so I was like, can I get a 2-hearted? And she brought me 2 and was like, that'll be $14. And I was like, I only ordered 1 of these. She was like, you said 2-hearted.
Yeah, she didn't know the name of the beer.
was
like
2-hearted. Yeah. Really?
Wow.
Just a hearted.
Anytime there's more than one in the title.
Yeah.
Just can't fucking. Can I get a 3 cheese dip? She's like, you ordered 3 cheese dips.
Okay. But it also says it on the tap handle too. Like it says the whole name.
Did you say the tap? You said the tap handle, didn't you?
Yeah.
I heard the tap anal. That's what I heard.
It says it on that too. All of it.
Also called the butt plug. Yeah.
Also called the. Hey, get behind the sticks.
Sometimes the sticks get behind you.
In Russia, the stick bought the beer for you. That's Yakov. That's Yakov Beefeater.
Yakov is the name.
That's Frackov. That's Frackov Beefeater. Whoa, that was a sharp one. Here we go.
Here we are.
So
there's a second sharp one.
Voodoo.
Caitlin, are you not having a good experience?
No.
Am I fucking
She finished.
hammered?
I mean, she finished hers already.
No, I got a little bit.
She got a little tiny bit.
It was
You're
fun.
Sean. He's cool.
Yeah. Are we still on the mountain? Fuck. Wait, yeah. When I met Caitlin after we hung out for a while, and I saw one of her.
After we hung out.
I remember our friend Flynn was like, "Wait, I brought up that you didn't drink beer," and they were like, "Caitlin?" I was like, "Caitlin doesn't drink beer." Yeah, she doesn't.
Flynn moved in, and then Flynn moved in like November.
In like Flynn, I believe is the term.
In like Flynn in November, and then January I took my first sober January, and after that I stopped drinking beer. It was also because I was dating a bartender at my favorite bar in Chicago that had like a random influx of beers all the time. And I was like, I could try all of these.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't like you anymore. And I
Yeah,
stopped going there.
Yeah, him. Not the beer, him.
Yeah.
What bar was it? Did you live in Chicago?
Yeah.
That's where we met.
Okay.
We met at a
I
bar in
lived there for
Chicago.
2 years. It was called Small Bar. They had like one in Wicker Park and one in Logan Square, but honestly, I don't know if it still exists.
Chicago is, I mean, I think the two.
Chicago's great beer.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, we talk about it. We think we kind of both agree that Chicago's a little overrated. But it's been a minute since I've been there and like tried some smaller breweries.
I mean, what's a shit like
Honestly,
Stone?
I immediately was like, yeah, probably.
Goose Island.
San Diego.
Goose Island's fine, whatever. But there's like,
I like Half Acre is probably the best.
Half Acre was the one that like it was free to take a tour, and so I would just like bring people that came into town to Half Acre, and it was like a good tour.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying because I'm here, but like I think the Bermuda Triangle of great drinking. I'm having a fucking aneurysm.
Do you want some water?
I think the Bermuda
If you see it on camera, he's actually drawing a picture.
Jimmy Buffett song.
The Bermuda Triangle of drinking cities are New Orleans, Chicago, Denver. Because Denver, there's a lot of outdoor, crisp, clean air drinking out, and even when it's cold out.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of breweries, and it's fun. And there seems to be a lot of places that are like, get in here, and we've got a fun area for you to drink on where there's more oxygen than you'd expect, but not as much as you need.
Yeah.
And then like Chicago is a psycho drinking city.
Oh yeah.
It's a psycho
Malort's
like
stupid.
But it's also like, what are you done with this 2 a.m. bar? We got a fucking that's a Boston accent. I can't do Chicago's accent, but this is 4 a.m. 5 a.m.
It's 4.
And New Orleans doesn't close. I love New York. New York. I love living in New York, but the bar scene in New York is very homogenized. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all kind of like they don't differ that much. There's a lot of Irish pubs, even the cooler, like more fucking awesome dive bars, all kind of feel the same. They're all great. But like bars in Chicago and New Orleans have like personality.
I have a place in my heart for the Turkey's Nest.
In the Turkey's Nest?
Yeah.
In Williamsburg?
Yeah.
I mean,
I
look,
gotta fucking, man.
absolutely. You drink fucking 32-ounce styrofoam fucking
Smart.
kits. Yeah.
Disgusting ass bars.
But the Turkey's Nest is one of the last of its kind.
Yeah.
In that neighborhood, you got the Turkey's Nest, you got the Alibi, which is still a shithole.
Okay, yeah.
And then you've got, I cannot remember the other place, but it's like a Polish joint 3 blocks down from the Turkey's Nest.
Okay.
Which also does that.
Sweet.
That like,
that
and the Levy. There are great bars, but yeah, like Turkey's Nest is one of them. It's like the last of a...
Man, what a special place that is. Like, that's one of my favorite bars in the entire country.
Yeah, that's it. And it's in the middle of like booming I guarantee people have walked in there in suits like, we will give you $3 million cash right now to leave. And they're like, no! We want to sell styrofoam beer and have
a 64-ounce Corona on your way out.
Yeah. And the bathroom is for cocaine, not urinating. You pee on the street, you cocaine in the bathroom.
My father owned this bar.
Oh, yeah.
He won it in a fucking game of dice.
Yeah.
Where am I from? Here, I'm born here. I talk like this.
What are we talking about?
The Turkey's Nest.
In Williamsburg. Talking about classic dives. Classic.
Yeah, I was saying how the Bermuda Triangle, is what I was trying to say, Denver, Chicago, New Orleans are three of the funniest, I think the funnest cities to drink in.
The funniest cities to drink in.
Also regionally.
Yeah.
Like regionally, like that around Chicago, like Midwest is just fun to drink in. Colorado, the mountain, the plains, it's all fun to drink in. And like the Gulf South, everybody's fucking wasted all the time.
I agree. Good
All right,
cities.
let's rate this New Belgium just so we can say we did it.
How often does this podcast go off the rails like this?
Oh,
Every time. Yes,
Let's rephrase that question. When has this podcast ever stayed on the rails?
yeah.
When we're not having a
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
it. Well, whenever we do this, honestly, whenever we do this with brewers, the more we used to have a huge segment list that we would send out to people, just because we'd say these are some things we could potentially talk about, and we always tell people the fewer segments that we have to get to, the better the show.
They are different segments, though. Like, we don't make the brewers tell us stories about them bombing at comedy.
Well, we kind of started to a little bit with beers that they thought were going to go really well.
I like that.
The beer industry and the comedy industry are the same.
I mean, dude, I've definitely tried like jalapeno beers and shit where I'm like, you could stick this directly up your own asshole.
And it would burn.
And that
it's
Bill
like, I don't
Cosby
have.
beer.
Yeah, I've definitely tried the Rohypnol lager, and I couldn't tell you how it tasted. I forgot. But you know what? I'm gonna give this a clean. I'm gonna give this a clean 4.
Clean 4.
Yeah, .4.
That's too much. That's too much.
What? No.
So many more
Chug it.
years. Look at the head on that beast.
Oh yeah, we haven't had
too
them
much.
chug a beer yet.
Oh,
We also forgot
Merlot
that,
Broham, don't you even worry, I'm down to do
We
this.
forgot to do that with Shane, George, and Nick. We didn't have them chug.
Come on.
Solid 4.
We kind of skipped past it. 4
Yeah.
for Caitlin.
I liked it.
This is
I'm going 3.5 just because
fucking snob.
It's drier.
it's no. I like that. I like
I
Western
do too.
IPAs.
It's like-
yeah,
A little more boring.
yeah. It's a little more bland.
I would go
I
4-1.
wonder how much this is affected by the order that we drink them.
Very much so. Especially on an IPA.
There's
Yeah,
more
no,
curveballs coming up.
I
We got
get
more
it.
curveballs.
Voodoo Ranger's not the. It's not the fucking treatment they crap. It's
Yeah.
not that. Wait, hold on. It's the. I can't think of any fucking bands right now. That's
You're
how
doing
good.
my voice right now.
Switch.
Hey man, I'm Corey. You want to see me
What?
grab air? Because I'll do it with my feet. Land it, no big deal.
I'm gonna grab air and this day.
Playing catch with
And I like how like Corey would land a fucking 6 snowboard jump and then just be like humble about it, like I didn't. Did I do that? Very hurtful. Did I just? Do you remember when you jumped over a guy? Do you remember when you jumped over a guy?
No.
You jumped. You jumped over a guy. We never talked about this. We never talked about this because minutes later I had beat my fucking head against Corey.
Sean
You
Johnson.
jumped over it. So
It's all coming back
Yes.
to me.
before we got to the BC Skiway, which if you've snowboarded fucking Steamboat, you know is a flat, long, treacherous, fucking annoying thing to ride.
Treacherous.
Before we got to that, treacherous, we were coming down. I
Very
forget
treasures.
But we were, yeah, treacherous, very treacherous, very treacheries.
My
So we were ripping down a blue, and you were doing the thing where you were going up on the sides and like leaping,
Yeah.
right? And there was a point where there was like you didn't necessarily leap over directly over, like you were the shark, and they were the shark and you jumped them.
I was the
But there
Fonzie.
was like a dude and another person like both kind of not moving, like either resting or tending to board trump, and you just kind of like went up and not right over them, but over them. Where I was like. Oh shit! He just jumped over people. I gotta remember to tell him that when we get to the bottom.
Now I'm upset that I didn't
Holy
let you
shit.
hold my hands while we floated down the mountain.
No.
Yeah.
no.
Now you know why those people weren't really moving. It's
Yeah.
because they had the same experience you did.
They were like,
What?
They had the same experience I did.
Yeah, that run is pretty fun though, because you can get cooking on, like, if you can get some speed, there's a lot of really fun, what they call side hits, which are just little jumps they have like on the side of the trail.
Yeah.
You can get some really like fun air off.
Oh yeah, you remember when I ate it trying it after you, before I hit my head?
Yeah.
Where you were like waiting for me and it was because I showed up just covered in snow because I saw him do a little jump and I was like, I could probably do that and just
And then I saw you and I was like, did you try it?
good. You went for it? I'm like, straight
It's
like,
all over his face.
I look like fucking Antonio Montana.
But I was stoked to like show you how to do some of that stuff if time
Next
allowed.
time,
But
dude.
yeah,
Next time.
for sure. Because it's literally just a matter of,
Yeah.
especially on small shit, it's just a matter of like learning the technique. As soon as you know how to do the technique a little bit, it's still hard, but you gotta learn like
I'm gonna
how
do
to
it.
do it.
Oh no,
Yeah,
dude! Starting as soon as we get
Yeah,
back
both
to New
of you
York,
guys.
I'm going to start doing. Caitlin found a bunch of like yoga and exercises specifically for snowboarding, for like strengthening your legs and your core. So I'm gonna.
already.
This is very
We
good.
don't have to rate any of this, by the way.
No, we have to. This
That's
is very
good.
good.
That's
Did you get
yeah,
some?
we do. Yeah, I got some.
Okay, good.
We've now open to move on to Station 26, Juicy Banger.
This
Yeah,
is
that's
very
why I
good.
said juicy.
Another one that people
About being
think
It's a
juicy.
juicy city.
Yeah.
And then it's Juice Town.
Yeah.
We have
So,
the juiciest drama
OJ,
here.
the football player / murderer.
Indeed.
And Lizzo's hit song. There you go. That's what they
Caitlin?
love.
That's what the people love.
I'm
People
very
dig it.
I'm very proud of you
Why?
for dropping that OJ reference. That was good. You're younger. You don't care about football at all.
I don't.
But that you
I
pull-
love
that
you
the
drop the rock.
story of this trial.
But you love
Just
It's
like
more
that
about the
Bronco.
murder.
Just like that Bronco, this show is off the rails.
Yeah. You reached in there and,
And
you
on the
dropped
highway.
a damn fucking good juicy reference.
So
Proud of
Juicy
you.
Banger from Station 26
Okay.
is also
That's
one
what
of,
you- I'm a bro now.
one of the more highly acclaimed like juicy IPAs, hazy IPAs in Colorado.
Yeah.
That's very good.
It's very good.
That's very
I
good.
wish that I could try the last one against this one because this one
this
feels
is way.
stankier.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, it's a little stank.
You guys
Stank.
probably
Good
know.
one.
This
On
one,
the nose,
this,
it makes you go, ugh.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
one tastes like a fucking patchouli soaked white dude with dreadlocks after a string
Alright.
cheese consonant.
I feel like you're
A
about
string
to say
cheese
a
consonant? A
racial
string
slur.
Cheese consonant?
I meant to say a string. Whoa! I meant to say a string cheese incident concert.
I'll buy
but
a
it-
vowel ask.
Oh wait! Sorry, Alex. My account's overdrawn. I'm gonna have to give you that vowel and 2 more back.
I'll take cheese.
The
4.25.
string cheese.
Alex does sell vowels. That's
25.
Pat Sajak.
Oh, sorry.
Failure of a man. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I only operate in round numbers.
Yeah.
Also, I just made up with the microphones.
That's a.
How?
Excuse me, everyone. Hold on.
Good thing that was no one that was.
Oh,
used.
fuck.
Okay, not bad.
That wasn't as good.
Station 26, you guys probably have never heard of them. They're a great brewery here. They
I dig
actually, it's called Station 26 because it used to be a fire station that they turned into a brewery.
Oh, I like that.
See, I like that. I
I
like a
really
name.
like converted
Yeah,
fire
it's-
stations and churches.
It's also across the street from Denver's biggest Planned Parenthood, and they
Yes,
have protesters
yes,
out there all the
yes.
time.
Like, hey, you guys thirsty?
Wild.
You guys fucking-
And then they go over to Station
Yeah.
26 like a bunch of people that just worked a construction line. Like, wow, we really put it in today, gang.
We got a lot done today.
I love
Station 26. Start bringing your beers over to them.
Yeah. They give it a
Because,
loosen
you know,
up.
I love the idea of like a bunch of fucking like union delegate protesters like, and I'm out there trying to fucking wave the sign. And then he fucking comes in with the megaphone. It's like, that's not till noon.
Yeah.
These fucking
What if the
cocksuckers.
Sopranos had like people instead of working on contract sites with the union, they just had them drop off at protesting Planned Parenthood.
Dude, the idea of the woke mafia is pretty good. But just like we're not stealing cell phones anymore. We're trying to fucking sell tires to Republicans.
We gotta quit putting cement around people's feet. It's really bad for the ocean.
Yeah.
Look, if we're gonna whack a guy, just lay down dry kale or raw kale. We'll roll them up.
All the character types we wouldn't expect. This one's getting a 3 for me.
A 3,
What?
huh?
Yeah.
I gotta
a little
go.
too much hop burn.
Copper.
No, hop burn.
That's what I said.
Copper. I thought you said copper.
No.
I thought you said hopper.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's just that the flavors that I think they want to be there aren't pleasant to me. The hop stays a little old.
That's why I said it was stank.
Look, we
I like the
gotta
steak.
take care of Corey, but we're using a recycled plastic sheet that he's standing on.
Yeah.
You know what? The last one was like fine, and this one is like could go either way. So I get the 3, but it goes my direction.
Yeah, I'm on.
In your favor.
Yeah.
We'll go,
What's your direction?
We'll go 4-4.
4-4.
What are you gonna go with?
You're here.
Or I said
4-4.
4.25. I was the first one.
You said 425.
4.25.
Wow, you're going.
I hate that we brought decimals into this. Can
Yeah.
I just say that?
Oh,
I didn't do it actually.
I'd like to go. This happened a couple episodes ago, and I was unhappy about it then.
You could have spoken up.
I could have.
If that was
It's
the
too
case.
late.
The first one 5, second one 4.
Yeah, I mean, technically now
It's too
we're
late.
scaling on a
It's too
scale
late.
of 1
Yeah.
to
I'm gonna go with a 4.26
No.
because
That's
Price is
the
Right- Price is Right rules
number.
this?
Let's start adding the decimal to the 1,000th place.
yeah.
4.261.
3.14.
Wait, was this the 4th one or is there one more? Is there one more
This is the 4th one, and there are 2 more.
that we're rating? We're rating 2 more.
Yeah.
Alright.
Can you drink 2 more? You haven't even chugged yet.
All I gotta do
Actually,
is
just for the sake of my own sanity, can we do the other one first, please?
Yes.
Just because I love that beer so
Good,
much.
because this has a better label on it.
From the graphic
I
designer
believe
standpoint,
Jerry-
it is pretty great.
Did
Oh,
Jeremy
look at
Farmer
that.
do that?
Jeremy Farmer probably made
Probably
that.
did that one.
Look at that.
Yeah. And he's
Matt,
living in
Matt?
his van out in San Diego right now,
Yeah.
so good for you.
Yeah. What do you got, Jeremy?
That's
So,
right. That's
this
right,
is-
guys. Wait, if you design a label, you can live in a van in San Diego too.
Jeff Tice?
Yeah.
Jeff Tice?
Does Jeff live in a van in San Diego?
Not
Sure,
yet.
it's pretty cushy.
He's working at it. He'll
Oh my
get
god.
there.
6.
Yeah.
New
Oh.
Zealand style IPA.
Yeah,
Never
so
heard of it.
this
Can't
is
wait to dig into
new-
it.
No,
Image
sorry.
brew.
This is a 5. I won't go over your scale.
No, you can. You can bring it to 11 if you want to.
I like this one a fucked.
Yeah, so New Image Brewing Company, Coriolis Effect, also considered one of the best hazy IPAs in Colorado. You guys you're all the way here from across the country. We wanted to make sure y'all were taken care of, and we wanted to put
I appreciate that. I've wet my pants 3 times now. So that's why the dogs aren't trying to hump under my legs anymore.
Also, a bit of a shill. These guys are also a sponsor of the show, so go and support them and buy their beers. But
I did not know that at the time. I just rated it that way because I looked at.
I owe you $5. Okay.
I am not influenced by
you owe me $5,000, but if you could Venmo to it, I Venmo to me. I don't want to leave a paper trail, specifically one for the environment to deal with. Woke bye.
Listen, he tried really hard. Why don't you just go ahead and double it?
That's like this is a Bill Burr. There's a Bill Burr sketch on SNL, wasn't it? When he did the Bill Burr episode. Real quick, gotta give a shout out to Bill Burr. I saw him like the week before he was doing SNL at the Cellar when they were doing we were doing shows in a box, like a fucking plexiglass block. But and he shows up to run his set. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna run my SNL monologue, I think. And then he goes on, and I remember he's running his set, and I'm like, wow, this is fucking hilarious. I guess he decided not to do his SNL set monologue because there's no way he's doing any of this on SNL.
Right.
And then you watch it, it's like, oh, he did all of that. He did all of that on SNL,
Yeah.
and they didn't stop him, and it was fucking great.
So funny to me because it seems like the crowd that watches SNL would get that and they would know Burr, but then I feel anybody that was outraged about anything that he said, I'm like, oh, I don't even think you even watch SNL, and you definitely don't know who Bill Burr is.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody that was just kind of hating on the material or whatever.
No, that
watch him. You've never seen him at all.
That monologue, that was a great fucking monologue.
I've never met Bill Burr, but I was in LA like a week before the shutdown, and I was in the grocery store and I saw him. we made beautiful eye contact.
Yeah.
And he looked at me like, that guy has the soul of a sad open micer. And then he went and he put his groceries away and he brought the cart back to the attendant like a fucking goddamn angel. And I was like, mad fucking respect.
And then you asked him for a guest spot.
He was like, you can headline. No, I didn't. I did not talk to him. But I was like, oh shit, that's Bill. And this is also this is the middle of the Mandalorian too, right? See, he had the Mandalorian the first episode, and it's like, holy shit, dude, you're a fucking Star Wars character.
Well, I mean, have you seen season 2?
He's a really good comic. But,
have you seen season 2?
Yeah.
Like that episode he's in season 2 is like, oh damn, you act, my friend.
Yeah.
You have acting chops.
Well, I knew he could act because of Breaking Bad. He was really good on Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Okay, but I feel like Breaking Bad, he was just kind of doing this basic version of him. He was never a huge. I don't feel like he had any huge scenes in Breaking Bad. I feel like he was there and he had a couple funny lines and the one scene.
I don't know, the train one.
Yes, but I feel like that was him just sort of playing like a goof-once. Whereas
what's his face? Who said?
What was
That one required a little bit of that.
Sure, no, I'm not saying he was
what's
very.
His face, but no spoilers.
He was very good in Breaking Bad. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I just seen it now.
Yeah, I just feel like that scene
I
in the
literally watched it for
Mandalorian.
the first time during the pandemic, and I still can't remember those characters.
But I feel like in that scene in the Mandalorian where he's like the ex-army guy who's like, a lot of fucking people died that day, General. You know what I'm saying? He came with this there was emotion and raw fucking pain. Whereas in Breaking Bad, he was just kind of playing I'm just a fucking. It was great. Once again, very good. But
it's kind of his character. Was it kind of his character?
It was just kind of he was playing.
No.
I think he was just playing a lackey where it was he had a couple funny lines, and it was
it was an easy role to play for him.
For a guy, but I felt like the Mandalorian. That scene where he basically tells off the general or whatever before he fucking whatever. It's dude, there was subtlety and moments of oh man, I feel like I'm actually watching a Star Soldier who's suffered with PTSD from this battle for years now.
Well, see, in the
probably what turned him into a criminal.
The first episode he was in, I was like, I hate his character. It kind of made me upset that it was Bill Burr. And then the second time he was on, I was like, damn, that's a great character. It really, the second season redeemed him. His character was for me.
It was, I don't know, the second
But
season.
the little shoulder gun is fucking tight.
A little shoulder gun,
Woo!
Yeah.
Honestly,
The Mandalorian.
that moment makes me feel like I need to watch it. Just you.
Shoulder
Shoulder
down.
I'm like, okay, I'll take
The
it back.
Could have also been a
Mandalorian.
Lady Gaga concert. We don't really know.
The Mandalorian is great if you understand that half of every season is kind of boring.
Wow,
I feel like half.
I really don't.
I feel like half of
What?
it.
I thought it was great.
I feel like every season should be 2 less episodes. I feel like there's certain episodes where I'm like,
Well, you know what it is that
we
the
could have
first,
just mashed that into the next one.
it was
But
originally
I love
supposed
it.
to be a spaghetti western where each episode kind of ends up where it started.
Yeah.
But then they realized that that's fucking lame, and they needed to add a storyline to a series. And so, like, the second half of the second season is phenomenal because there's a continuous storyline.
Yes, the second half of the second
When
season.
you don't have a continuous storyline going on, it gets really boring.
How do you? Sorry, I don't actually know how the show is constructed. How do you realize that halfway through a season of a show that's like fully dropped on a streaming platform?
Well, Disney Plus does it week by week. Also,
Yeah.
also, I don't have a lot going on these days, so
Yeah, Disney Plus.
Not
to be
you.
fair.
Sorry, this writing staff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoy, like, I've enjoyed like half of both seasons. I thought were fucking great, and then the other half, I guess maybe it's a lot of like exposition. That's
Well,
fine.
in
But,
a
like,
weird way, that's actually what I liked about the first season was that each episode seemed like it could be independent of the others, which I thought was
it is very
And
Western.
then it still
That's
had
This is fine.
Yes.
I know I should have done it in front of the mic.
You should pour that one out before you drink
Yeah, because
it.
it's
Pour it
not
all
John.
in the mug before you drink that one.
This one?
Yeah, don't drink it from the can.
I also feel that like the I want to see fucking
it's
Pedro
real good.
Pascal's face some more.
So does he. He wants you to see it too.
Yeah, I like it. And that's the other thing about that episode. You get like a full 5 minutes of his face
Yeah.
with like
Wow.
yeah.
Whole 5. Whole
Oh wait, but
minutes.
so Caitlin's about to
Taste
drink something else. Everybody give their marks on new image Coriolis effect
Oh, yeah,
really quick.
Sorry, I just got really bored. Sorry.
Shit!
Sorry, I watched the show.
All right, let's talk about WandaVision.
I do before actually.
Caitlin won't watch WandaVision.
I'm gonna
I
mention.
watched WandaVision.
Welcome to the Stuttering Splurs.
I am gonna before we end the show. I do want to ask you about your beer drinking experience in Europe.
Oh.
So I just want to put that out in the ether
Yeah.
so that we get back.
I'm going to throw out. Wait, Caitlin, you go first.
What?
What's your rating on this?
I said 5 immediately.
Oh,
Actually, I said
boy.
6, and then I said, okay, let's adhere to the scale, and I
Give
said
it a
5.
6.
You're giving it a
It's
6?
a loose show.
I really liked it.
You're the only one going above. And
I'm
beyond
sorry.
there.
Keep it in
I
the
will
5.
also give it a
I'm
5.
sorry.
Fine, it's 5. Fine.
I'll give
fine.
it a 5.
What?
I'm
No, because this beer really is the perfect balance of both East Coast and West Coast. It starts off like an East Coast. It starts off like a fucking juicy beer,
Yeah.
but it ends like a West Coast beer, like a West Coast IPA.
Yeah. I know.
airborne.
It's the whole
What is it?
spectrum.
Air porn.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 4.9
It tastes
because
like
I'm just doing what you guys want me to do.
I think we know who's gonna win.
And I'm giving this guy a 4.
You giving a 4?
You said a 6.
Corey
No, Caitlin said a 6.
has
Oh.
taste.
No, that's not true. I'm just pretentious.
Yeah.
So I go
This
lower.
beer-
That's what I meant by it.
This beer's like a
Yeah,
neutral milk.
I'm contrarian.
This is the neutral milk hotel of IPAs, and it's amazing, and I also hate it.
Sorry, it does have lactose. Neutral milk hotel.
Wait, also, by the way, creamsicle's been my palate cleanser this whole time.
They wipe your palate with the most flavorful thing on the table.
That's just become
I mean,
what's
ginger.
Pink velvet.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're
It
drinking.
smells like airborne and it tastes like airborne with alcohol.
Yeah.
I cleaned my apartment with that.
Yeah.
It's supposed to
I'm thinking.
mimic an egg, like an egg alcohol, egg martini.
Wow.
Oh. You're like you were just laying
I'm trying to breathe.
bad job.
So the
laying some
Giving
eggs
birth
there.
for a second.
The nitro is supposed to replicate the egg on a martini.
Yeah,
Or
that's
in
what
a
it-
cocktail. I know that's what you were trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
That is what it
Doing a
is.
good
I'm not
job
bad.
of that. You're not
Boy.
doing a good job of the
You think this is hard to start
You're like, it's supposed to be like eggs, alcohol.
eggs, alcohol, bacon, Brussels
Okay, now
sprouts.
you've sold me. I want food.
I'm just reading off my grocery list at this point.
I mean, we should just order something now.
So how did you find like the beer drinking experience? Because you lived in the UK for a little bit, right?
Yeah. I would say at the time that I lived there.
Wait, Caitlin, where did you live though?
I lived in London initially, and then I lived in Oxford.
Why would you live in Oxford?
I hate it.
I think it's worth being proud of.
Okay, I got my master's degree in underwater archaeology.
That's great.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fucking cool. I think that's very cool.
It is very cool.
Yes, but there's no way to say it without sounding like you're bragging. So
Or-
you have to use that voice.
Or
It's okay.
you let your shit-faced boyfriend be like, we're proud of fucking the time. Because
It's all about the water rocks, babe.
the first time I ever went to England, I went to visit her, and it was my first place I ever went was Oxford, which is like
Yeah, they film a lot of Harry
majestic
Potter there. So
castles.
my chum was like, this is all of England, right?
Caitlin, do you know what the deepest point of a river is called?
The deepest point of a river.
I don't know. Is there
I
a
really want to say crevasse, but it's not.
It's
That's
not.
Crevasse.
It's not.
That's a beautiful name also.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it the butthole of a
Is
river?
is it a river's taint?
Is it a river butthole? Sorry, I was Oxford. Is it the river anus?
Do you remember what
I
it
don't
is?
remember what it is.
You know what it is.
I know what it is, but
It's
it hasn't
a
been years.
thowleg.
That way, that is.
Literally never
That
heard
way.
this word.
Yeah.
What's the deepest foul leg on the planet? Which river is it in?
Steve's ass.
I was guessing at the time. Well, that fell way out of my ass.
It's
Penetration quality.
It's in
is
Mississippi, 95 miles east of St. Louis, Missouri. Made that up, but said it with authority.
Yeah, that's the
Maybe
thing.
don't do that.
Maybe I shouldn't. You're right.
He's like a judge with a gavel. Just give him a mic stand.
This is where the towel is.
Maybe I shouldn't slam my Star Trek symbol.
I'm a dick. I just care about our listeners' ears.
That's fair.
That's why
Yeah, so
I know. That's why we've been belching into them for an hour now.
They like it.
Yeah.
We found out from one of our previous episodes that the deepest point of the river is the Thoweg because that's what he said it was his daughter's middle name.
Oh, a thowleg?
Thoweg.
I said a thowleg.
I'm sorry, that's a bad middle name. It's a really beautiful idea.
But he's such a nerdy, whimsical man.
Wait,
He
who's
also made this beer. So.
Oh, you know what? I take it back.
We brought it up multiple times on this show. I don't take it back at all. So your European beer
Yes.
drinking experience, because it's very different over there. For anybody that doesn't know,
Yeah.
it's predominantly cask ale, where things are served at not warm, because people always say it's warm and it's flat. It's room temperature, typically closer to room temperature, and then it's lower carbonation.
Yeah.
So everything gets forced through the beer lines through a hand pump instead of through CO2, which is why it tastes a little more, seems a little bit more flat anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, the British beer drinking experience is so lovely to me. Just like going to, like, a British pub.
Yeah, that's what's really interesting about it for me is when I went to London to study abroad, I was still drinking beer. And then when I went to Oxford, I was, like, not really drinking beer anymore. But, like, the American craft beer industry far surpasses the beers in the UK.
Yeah.
At the same time, their pub culture far surpasses like our bar.
Pub culture blows it out of the water.
Yeah.
The beers, everything's just mild and kind of subdued.
Yeah, and it's like going to the pub is something that you do with your kids.
Yeah.
It's the place of like community for a town.
Music
It's also
isn't
like-
drowning out every opportunity for conversation.
No, it's all about conversation, food. You have a beer. You go there during a work break. You go there with your professor after a class. Not even a good class. You just go there. Like that's what the community
and you get
So,
fish and chips, and it's fucking
awful
delicious.
cask, flat beer, warm beer reminds me of that. So
Yeah.
I love it. You know.
Is this a
Clean up at a
cask?
college party. After everybody leaves stuff on the table, you're like, this reminds me of London.
It reminds me of love. Yes. Yeah.
That's really cool that you got to have that experience. I don't think people really get that. I don't think people really understand that pub culture is so much different in like Germany and in the UK in particular, as opposed to here where it's everybody's opening a concept bar, basically, as opposed to making it about the neighborhood, but which is where breweries are kind of.
I don't fully agree with that anymore. I used to, but after having spent some time in the burbs recently, I would say that there is definitely out there, like in Aurora, at least, there's a neighborhood brewery vibe, and that's what they're going for.
It's exactly what I just said.
I don't agree with that, but I agree
but
with
also 100%. Yeah. No, I thought you were saying like in Denver that just doesn't exist.
No, I'm saying in bars, it doesn't exist. I'm saying
I don't agree with that 200%. Just normal, just a normal amount.
He just knows that he wants to become contrarian to me. No, breweries for sure are the neighborhood pubs.
Yeah.
It becomes 100%. Like a neighborhood hangout, as opposed to the UK where it's mostly breweries are their own independent facilities, and then the pubs really take on.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
That is a truthful.
Wow. Also,
do you also disagree with me?
I need to go to Oxford and write my dissertation on this. Holy shit.
Yeah. Breweries are because that's what I do love about pubs. It's what is a pub if it's a home base.
Yeah,
it's more of a clubhouse than anything.
Yeah. My favorite
clubhouse
bars,
for anyone who lives in the neighborhood.
My favorite bars and breweries. The thing I like the most about them, A, it's the quality of the liquid, but then B, it feels like an extension of my living room.
Yes, that's why it is in the UK. That's not totally true across Europe in general, but the biggest issue I think is the oldest pubs in the UK. Sean loves this pub. There was this pub called the Bear in Oxford that we used to go to for pub trivia, which is pub quiz, which is trivia here.
Wait.
Why? Why am I waiting?
We went every Tuesday, and there was this old British man that just gave us the hardest questions. And for some reason, people around me, because maybe they went to Oxford, knew all the answers. Yeah. And I would just sit there and drink and occasionally be like, I know that one! I'm American!
Madonna!
But they had the worst beers because it was a pub from the 11th century.
But what year? What year? Go. What year it opened? Remember?
1050!
1050!
That's wild.
That's incredible.
Wild.
726 years older than America.
Perfect. Okay. I thought you were.
Of course they weren't going to bring it.
I thought you were going to say 726 years ago. Perfect math.
Somebody probably had the idea for America multiple times in their bar and was shot down well, if we had a land with no king and taxes were only paid if that's someone who ever
fuck off, Sean.
Whatever.
So old that the ceilings were about as high as that door.
No,
maybe lower.
Oh yeah, the ceilings were 5.5.
Everybody back then was 3 feet tall.
Yesterday, I disagree with that idea. I think it was more so that it was 1050 and people still didn't know what they were doing when it came to building shit. So they're this is high enough. People will
I know that that's a funny idea, but people were shorter.
Sure.
And I know that because I went to Oxford.
Yeah. But legit, that.
You don't have to brag about
I know. But here's the thing,
to be fair, there were water people.
And so were so many things in England that they're not going to bring in some new cool cask ale that tastes better.
And
that's
God bless them for
brewed
not
in
doing
a cool
that.
way. It's because they're no,
we do the thing that we do really well.
Yeah.
It's amazing, dude. When you what I love also so much about pubs is you don't have to just go there and get shit faced. If you're I'm hungry and I want to sit and read a book or write, I can get food because all pubs serve lamb, mushy peas, fish and chips usually is the go-to, and bangers and mash. Yeah. They all kind of have the same thing. It's all pretty good. They're not you're gonna have a beverage, you're gonna have a bead, and you're gonna have a point. You can be I'll have a tea, and they're what you taking it? And you can sit there because there's
a half cafe,
and because there's no music blaring, you can sit and they're usually
usually
yeah. And you can sit and but also you can also get rowdy and crazy and pubs on Sunday serve a thing called a Sunday roast, which is my favorite shit on earth.
I'm sold already.
So
which is basically just every pub, you just like, I'll have the Sunday roast, and it always differs, but it's a meat, potato, and a green variation.
It's like a mini Thanksgiving without the like cranberry
pubs.
sauce or whatever.
I'm like one of the 4 people I've ever met, and only 2 of them are British who like British food.
We just don't end that sentence. I'm one of the only 4 people.
I'm one of the 4 people I've ever met. I love British cuisine.
Ironically,
That is a great opening line to some TV series.
Ironically, there's 3 other people at this table.
I've only met you guys.
He's
Pandemic party.
time that he's never met a person.
Oh my god,
his
that's
entire
amazing.
life.
But you know how, I mean, we've all been day drinking at a bar.
Yeah.
Where we know someone, and it's fucking cool, and you're having great conversation, and you're like, hey, what if we all did, Fernet?
Cocaine.
And it's like, let's
Cocaine.
You know what? That's a great way to...
different.
It's cocaine for bartenders.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
they also
you do the
Yeah,
cocaine,
yeah.
you wash back the drip with Fernet.
It's true.
Yeah. But you're having like a great time, and it's fun, and all of a sudden, it's 7 p.m., and they've got to switch into nighttime rules.
Yeah.
So then the music gets louder, and the dipshits come in, and now you're in the corner of the bar like, this isn't as fun anymore. Pubs just don't change.
Yeah.
They stay like, oh no, we don't want the fucking
That
joints.
is not true.
They do, no, they get, I'm sure
They're
they're
gonna make us happy.
I
It
think
depends on
games.
what kind of pub you are. Like some of them will close at 9 or 10. Some of them will put on loud music and disco lights, and some of them will not change.
I like the ones that
What
do.
time do they close?
Most pubs, I think,
Most
close
pubs
like 10.
close at like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
They're like a day.
I need you guys rating, and then I'm gonna ask you another question.
4-3.
About what we're doing.
Forgot that...
4-3.
4-3.
I've questioned everything you've tasted.
I don't know. I like
Did we even say what this is?
This is Upslope's IPA.
Upslope IPA.
I will say the
Colorado.
most boring graphic design in that batch.
All of
Disagree.
their design is the same though, which is
Disagree.
great for marketing.
Okay, I see it. I see
Disagree.
it.
The simplicity is pretty great.
Here's the thing is that
Yeah.
we've been switching back and forth between hazy and hoppy, and if I wanted to end this, I wouldn't end on any other drink.
What'd you go with?
I'm
went with a
4-3. 4-3.
Yeah.
It's
3.5.
it's the right amount of hoppy for me.
But I truly think it's the order because I like the last stanky one.
I don't think you're wrong.
I gotta go with a 4.7 on this one. I love it.
What?
I really do. I love it. It's got a good bite.
Purely because of the order.
It's
as
got
well.
a good bite.
Sean's just drunk.
I mean, no, switching back and forth between West Coast and East Coast definitely has.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're not a professional beer rating podcast.
Are we not? Well, then why did I buy stock on Robinhood for you guys?
That's
You
what's
believe in
making me
us.
I bought them stock.
What kind of stuff?
ACH is a stock.
Ethereum. I can't tell the difference between Ethereum and Delirium.
I bought some stocks for these 2 pink elephants that I said
Yeah.
on this podcast. I'm giving it a 2.5.
Damn,
Wow.
dude. Damn.
Damn.
That's-
Is it because
well.
we were supposed to record with this brewery tomorrow,
Yeah.
and their brewer's not feeling well, so.
No, I'm just getting like
That
a
must be
little
why.
This is
smoky
like
flavor from it. I don't love the texture.
This is the texture of beer.
What?
I just like that. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I just don't love the texture. It's a little tacky. And
I like the texture of it, honestly.
I do too.
I really do.
I never even thought about the fucking concept of the texture of alcohol. Now I do.
Can you tell the picture beer story?
This was a perfect moment.
The way he was like, the
If only I could have
texture of
burped
beer.
right then for
Yeah.
like the first time.
My
right?
younger brother, who is way smarter, more handsome, physically fit than I am, but this was a couple years ago. We're at this bar in New Orleans called Cooter Brown's, which is an oyster bar. Which is
Cooter?
Cooter Brown's.
Tight.
Which just means like, and it's a tight fit. But
I think they call
also,
that an Abe Lincoln in some states.
yeah, there's also like, it's a sports bar-ish, but like a very New Orleans sports bar where they don't really care about the sports, but there's always trivia going on in this one section of the bar that you just kind of hear in the background the whole
Don't you
time.
mean pub quiz?
Pub
Sorry.
quiz, yes. So my brother,
love a good pub
Yeah.
quiz.
so my brother and I are hanging out, just drinking, and in the background, fucking, you hear the quiz master going like, "All right, we're gonna do a flash bonus round."
So what a pretentious name.
Whatever they're called, I don't know what they're fucking actually called. But he's like, "All right, whatever team gets this right gets a free pitcher of beer." And my brother Daniel just starts fucking laughing hysterically. I'm like, oh, I guess that's interesting. And then Caitlin and my sister show up, and we're drinking and we're talking and we're having fun. And then we hear the fucking guy go like, all right, Quirky Bones, or whatever the fucking team's name was. You guys won. Go up to the bar right now to claim your free pitcher of beer. Then my brother goes, oh, a pitcher of beer. I was like, did you think the prize was a picture? He's like, yeah, I thought it was a picture of beer. So I thought it was so fucking stupid.
I don't know.
That's real awesome.
A picture of beer.
After that story, I was like, I want a picture of beer every time.
I'm thinking of like,
you want another one of those?
Yeah, dude. On his birthday, I send him a picture of beer.
Are there ones that I would never mind?
I'm thinking like Andy Warhol, like pictures
Don't worry.
of soup, like a picture of beer.
Yeah, if you got like a Caitlin beer.
Rad.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. What are you in the mood for?
One of the ones that I really liked, so I guess that would be
One of these.
that one or the juicy bit. Any of the juicy.
We might not have those
We
anymore.
don't have any more. You can have one of those if you want. Oh, you can't. Sorry.
Can't have one of these.
Let me pull out a couple things and.
We've got.
Don't worry about it. I
Don't
still
worry.
got my little pink velvet.
I mean, that's what is that? What is pink velvet?
It's a little cocktail with nitro.
Oh, can I try it?
Yeah.
I thought it was a.
It's not beer.
It's not beer.
Oh.
That's why Corey brought it for me.
I
They're
thought
all
it was
typically
a. I thought it was a like a fruity like a. It's
No,
a
but it
strawberry
does taste
beer.
like Airborne with the egg thing on top. It's nitro. That's what we were trying to say properly, but I couldn't.
What are you rated? 1.2. I don't
It's a
hate
good
it.
palate cleanser.
I got another juicy IPA from Ratio.
That works.
Oh, ratio.
That's a good. That's
That's-
good.
Look at that label.
It's beautiful.
Have either of you performed a ratio yet?
Yeah, last time we were here.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
It was super fun.
That's,
Yeah,
the,
ratio
that's the other thing
is
about
great.
breweries is not only they're like the local pub now, but they're also the B clubs for comedy.
And
Like,
that
they're-
totally
And in
makes
some
sense to me.
situations, the A clubs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in some cities, the A club.
Yeah, oh sure.
Well, like, no, yeah, like dude, straight up, like breweries. That's why I had like what looked like a relapse from hitting my head. But truthfully, it's like, yeah, man, breweries legit are like there's food, there's obviously alcohol, but it's never like a divey bar / club situation. It's always about to like sit down, hang, enjoy the shit, talk amongst yourselves. Also, if you want some entertainment, we have they all have venues.
Yeah.
They all have like
Not all of them, but they can
Yeah.
makeshift them for
Yeah,
sure.
they all have
They
space
can
for them.
makeshift it.
Well, that's what I think is like
Yeah.
interesting about when you form a business that's going to serve alcohol. Like, what is your main goal? Because it seems like a lot of them are like, we are going to be a dance floor that happens to serve alcohol.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
breweries will always be like, we're making really good beer, and maybe we have space to have a show.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone there is like, I'm going to drink and pay attention to what I'm drinking and like be a good person.
The other thing too is that with breweries, they notoriously they stop being busy around 8 o'clock.
yeah.
Like a pub. Like a pub.
Yeah.
So
So
pubs are not 4 a.m. bars in Chicago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, like right around the same time that a comedy show would be good to start is when they start to not be busy.
Wait,
So
drunk
it's
question.
a really easy sell.
Is beer fermented or distilled? Fermented.
Fermented.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
yeah.
And I really don't know enough about the distilling process to know like.
Oh, but you know enough to drop a 2.5 on a fucking can.
Yeah,
Because the texture's
I
not
know
good
about
enough.
fermentation.
I don't appreciate the backwash catalog in this beer.
Well, this actually has a lot. I mean, I've been using the same glass the whole time.
It's
Yeah.
a terrible album title.
But for a great
Backwash
band, backwash catalog. Hey everyone, we're dubstep, we're dad stout.
That's like doing the
We're gonna
same
drop some
album
dad
4
stops.
times in a row and making it worse every time. The backwash catalog.
Oh.
Yes.
All right, do you guys want to know where everything's stacked up?
Yes,
or at
I
least
do.
the top
Fuck
3?
yeah, dude! Now I'm gonna
Alright.
chug this creamsicle.
Don't chug lactose.
So, Deschutes Fresh Squeeze came in third place with 17.3.
Damn.
And then in second place, we have Weldworks Juicy Bits at 18.10.
Nice.
First place is going to be Coriolis effects by New Image. And I know that because I remember numbers.
Wow, you really aren't great for drama.
The ship sinks and Jack dies. But watch, there's 45 minutes more.
But what I will say is that this was a very highly rated round. Sometimes
Tragedy plus time equals the Coriolis effect.
everybody knows Al Cooter Hitchback. That's his famous.
Al Cooter Hitchback.
It's a great
That I feel bad for that one. I'm gonna own that one because I introduced the idea of just not saying Adam K. and saying Andrew Slayton Netherlands.
Andrew Dice Clay.
I don't think you
You can blame me.
named Cooter, so.
You can blame me for showing up to a dead horse and kicking it. I'm sorry.
I tell you what, you want a good drinking partner? That boy Adam K.
He doesn't. I
think he's a family man now with a dad. He's got
He's
a
a
son.
family man, but also like he's really smart. Where he doesn't.
He's gotten into his son.
Sean was like, he's got a dad and a son.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
He has a daughter.
Adam,
on the
forgive
way.
me.
I'm very excited for
He
him.
was-
Oh my
born
God, I
with
forgot
a-
about that. He's
Yeah.
got another kid on the way.
Yeah.
Popping him out.
Congrats.
But also he doesn't go out with a bunch of local people and get super fucking tanked and make a fool out of himself.
Anymore.
No.
You're not local, so you don't count.
Anymore. You're right. I guess. I'm local, United States.
But I mean,
Yeah.
because neither of the Grolix dudes drink.
Indeed.
Ben and Andrew don't drink.
Who? No, I'm kidding, Ben Andrew, we love you. Ben, I missed the boat on Drunk Ben Roy.
Yeah, me too.
I was about a few years too late, but I do love me some Ben Roy. And Andrew doesn't need to drink because he's just adorable.
Oh, he's a sweetheart.
Just pet him on the head.
We were,
and
running
hold him
a,
tight.
we were running a bunch of different shows over the summer, and Ben did one of our ones at Bierstadt, and it was probably my favorite set of the entire summer because at one point he had a foot race with another. So we had in their parking lot, they had set up some turf where they could do outdoor shit.
AstroTurf from
Yeah, and next to it was another parking lot also that had AstroTurf, and he had a foot race with another comic and an audience member, and then realized when he got back on stage that he had lost his keys. So he went back while doing his set. Went back into the other field and had 5 or 6 audience members helping him find his keys.
Oh my God.
while he
That's
was doing
hilarious.
I love that.
his set. It was so much fun.
That's amazing.
Adam and I have had so many fucking insane random where are we? What city are? Oh, we're in Chicago. Okay, yeah, so many of those nights with that dude. But he is so I wish I was as responsible as him. Does that make sense?
He's extremely responsible.
Yeah, he's an extremely hey everyone, it's 5 a.m. and we've only eaten once.
Oh my God. I just felt
Somebody's got to fucking maintain the situation.
But,
Dude, I do love this Creamsicle IPA. This cracks one open. It is very creamsicle.
Dude, it's fucking fantastic. This
I
might
had
be
it-
my new favorite beer.
I had it on tap a couple weeks ago. Met with Josh from Epic. And
I really thought you said I have it on tap, and I was like, I need to see this tap. I need to see this in-home creamsicle tap.
With how often we're doing podcasts over here now, it probably wouldn't hurt to just get a kegerator.
I mean, this is this. I've never had this before. And
Are you familiar with the milkshake?
It's brand
IPA?
new. This beer came out a week and a half ago.
No, I am not familiar with the milkshake IPA.
Yeah, that's what that is.
That's what I'm having.
Yeah, so a milkshake IPA is essentially a hazy IPA that they add lactose to. So it gives it that more of that texture. You're a big texture guy now.
Now I'm a texture guy.
Now you're a texture guy.
I prefer a penne over risotto. I'm just saying it.
Oh, someone spent too much time in the UK. Just kidding.
Did you go to Oxford?
Someone spent too much time in a Nissan Rogue with asleep. I'm sorry.
Hey,
brother.
listen, I love my Switchfoot box now. Okay?
Nissan's a great motor company because they're sponsor. I'm gonna give you guys a sponsorship. Nissan, the motor company. But here's the thing.
That'll be $7,000.
But
you make cars.
They had a whole line of automobiles that looked like they all had Down syndrome. Like the Nissan Cube was like, what is that? What are you doing?
What are you trying to be?
Yeah, but the Rogue, having ridden one, specifically Corey's, I actually held down from the mic when I meant to go like this.
He held my road.
Yeah.
He rode it.
I rode your road.
Rode my
I slept
road.
in your road. It's a good road. Oh, good. Lord. Guys, I got to say this right now. I'm shit-faced.
Good.
I didn't think we was going to be this kind of podcast.
Yes.
I thought we were going to be drinking out of little sample cups
I
and
mean, we
shit.
kind of were. I mean, you have to figure most of these were 12 ounces.
Yeah.
Also, most of these are 8.6ers.
Yeah, we forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I've seen you drunker than this, so I think you're.
You probably. I think you've been around in my whoops, where'd my pants go? But I was never that guy. I was definitely the like. I feel like I treated a lot of situations like I was on a slip and slide.
Yeah, just go for it.
I mean, some of like my craziest, like especially when like the Fine Young Gentlemen were in full swing. Those years.
The Fine Gentlemen's Club.
The Fine Gentlemen's Club. I simply remember they did a festival one year.
Yes, I remember that.
And they brought in Ron Funches and I. And it was us going on before a Lucha Libre wrestling match.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And afterwards, they were like, hey, we got to pay you guys in cash. And we're like, sure. And then they're like, by cash, we mean fives.
Oh.
And they paid us in like fucking wad of fives. I'm like, I kind of love this.
Yeah, it's a baller
I'm not mad at this at all.
It's a baller look for sure.
This is fun. But like, yeah, the first, this is why I love this city. The first, I'm going to say 5 times I came here, I was here for stretches of time, and they were always like fun, soaked, crazy, ridiculous, unpredictable nights. Yeah. Every time. Oh, yeah. The shows were always great, but everything else around was always just like, oh, someone's too fucked up. We're too fucked up. You're eating something crazy. You're meeting someone crazy. You're making out with someone on a roof. Whose roof is it? Where are you now?
It's a town of indulgence, but unlike New Orleans, it's indulgence in a lot of different things.
It also still like even with the pandemic, like that still exists here, and it will continue to exist.
I mean, you could just spin around in a room and just say, this person's too drunk, this person's tripping on mushrooms, this person's really high on weed, and this person is probably on DMT right now.
Some great, and just like some, like, I love I say this, and again, not just because I'm here, the High Plains Comedy Festival is in my opinion, the best festival in the United States.
It's so good.
Like, it's untouchably so. Like, there are some great, Moon Tower's great, fucking,
Did you have fun at Rogue Island? Because
Rogue Island's fantastic.
I love Rogue Island.
Island's fantastic.
That's where we hung out.
It's a good one.
Rogue Island's a fantastic festival. Rogue Island's right behind High Plains. As far as just like,
I would agree, and I don't like. There's a lot of comics here don't realize how good of a festival it is because they think Rogue Island, like, how good it could be, but like Doug does a fucking
fantastic job, dude. He's fucking he's a great dude.
What Newport fucking rules.
Yeah, Newport is super cool.
Is sick as
fuck. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Newport, Rhode Island's a fantastic town.
It's beautiful too. Like if you go out by the water, if you go out by the water, it's fucking gorgeous, and then the town itself is like very picturesque New England. It's one of those really awesome.
And they put us at the Gurney's Hotel. That place is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is that the one over the bridge?
Yeah.
And they put us in this room. Was like there were so many weddings just directly outside of our window.
Yeah.
So you'd be like, this bride has a really
but
good
yes.
But
the first time I did that festival,
not so much.
I never stayed in the hotel. The first time I did that festival, they rented us an Airbnb that was like above one of the oldest baseball stadiums in the United States. It's like one of the first 10 baseball stadiums. Mm-hmm. And you can go out on the back patio and like, they've sold it since, but you could look over the patio and see these like shitty baseball teams like practicing and shit every day. And they're like, this baseball team has been here since 1826.
Since baseball.
Yeah. I'm like, this shit rules.
This is
so
776 years ago.
Yeah. Exactly. No, dude, Rogue Island's an awesome festival. Yeah. I love High Plains. High Plains has this element. Once again, Rogue Island's fantastic. Moon Tower, probably. I mean, Bridgetown was fun. But there is something about the way that.
Burps are good here.
And I haven't been to High Plains in a few years now because it was always during Edinburgh, and I like that festival. But like, it's a different thing. But there's something about the way High Plains functions where it's this like, it feels like you're all tapped into this organism.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you're doing a set and it's great, and then you're seeing a show and it's great, and then you're on another show and it's great, and it's almost like you're like you're all mentally connected. And you're like, I know where everyone is right now.
Yeah.
And we're all having, and like this sounds very fucking insane in the first state to legalize marijuana recreationally, but it truly does feel like, we're all existing in a different dimension, maybe, than like the rest of it's like, it's so fucking amazing.
Sean drank beer that also had weed in it.
Yeah.
And this is counting white.
Because I remember like the
But
one
it's got a
taking it
quarter
down
kind of a feel
portal
to it.
Yeah, I remember like when
everything's there and
Yeah.
it's literally within 2 blocks.
Yeah.
Right, like literally everything is happening.
but I can remember like
and for anybody that
like
doesn't-
summer
Yeah.
camp, and you live in this little baby world.
Yeah.
And for
Love
anybody
it.
that doesn't know, High Plains is the festival that's in Denver.
it's in Denver. It's fantastic. And then Rogue Island we did last year. And it's like it's right there. It's Rogue Island's great, but like Newport's not. Newport's fantastic, but it's not Denver.
Right, Newport's not
Yeah.
grungy.
Well, and the other
Yeah,
thing too is
Newport's
like
not
Yeah.
the High Plains Festival takes place minus 1 to 2 shows. It all takes place within a block and a half,
Yeah.
or even half a block, really.
If
Yeah.
that, yeah.
If you don't include the open mic, all the main showcases take place within a half block of each other.
We were on that
And
block today.
During,
Yeah.
it's the best. It's the best.
Go to Mutiny Cafe.
Yeah,
One of the greatest
absolutely.
fucking places in Denver.
Love
Mutiny
it.
Cafe, yeah.
There was when the pandemic hit. There was a whole thing where
Go buy Sam Talent's book there.
Please.
By the way.
It's such
Yeah.
a
Sam Talent's book made me full on ball.
Yeah.
Like full on like.
Did it hit a little too hard?
No, well, dude, he
Sorry, I didn't mean to
describes
cut you
the
off, Steve.
character.
Trying to plug Mutiny.
Jesus Christ, dude! Like he just digs into like the soul of every comedian, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't think
Oh,
it
yeah.
matters like what level of success you are, or what kind of comedian you're trying to be.
you know that guy.
We all have the same soul. Like there's like a
Yeah.
a
Even if you don't know the
core to us
guy,
all.
that guy is you.
Part of
Like,
you, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
in some way, in some fashion, in a fleeting moment,
Yeah.
whether in a gig, in a place you're not familiar.
Did you guys
with.
read the
That
book?
was
Did you read the
so-
book? Did you read the book?
I'm not yet. I
I've read it.
have a hard
I
copy.
haven't
of
finished
right?
it, but even like that character, like as a woman in comedy, I'm like, that's still me. I still see myself
Yeah.
in this character.
Yeah.
And I think he created something so specific that it becomes massively universal.
Right, and I didn't even mean to say that like you're that guy. I just meant that
Oh,
you're
yeah,
that
yeah.
you're that person.
Yeah.
Like if you're a
I'm
road.
not offended by the word.
Yeah,
I didn't. What he meant to say was like,
Yeah.
"You're probably that cunt." That's what he meant to say.
Clearly.
Yeah.
But
That
if
is
you're-
my pronoun of preference.
If you're a road guy, yeah, which should be used more regularly. If I'm
Yeah.
going to be honest. But if you're a road comic, then yeah, that you have experienced.
Or a comic.
You don't necessarily.
If we could all honestly,
we can all burp
I-
at the same time
exactly.
after the podcast ends.
I
But still,
demand
let's
that we do not end this episode until we
We all
all
burst
belch at the same
simultaneously.
time. Let me go pee. Okay. Don't talk about this.
That's like,
Talk about this. Corey, run with it.
yeah.
Corey,
So,
got this.
but yeah, that's the thing with Sam's book was that it was any fleeting moment that you have while you're out on the road, or you're doing a gig you're unsure of,
Yeah.
or maybe one that you are like you know who you are as a comic. That's why it's beautiful, is because
Yeah.
it doesn't have to encapsulate your entire career, but everybody at some point in time has experienced some of that feeling.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, this world is just too wild to not have encountered those moments.
Right.
And to not have had those thoughts, even if you haven't, like, gone down that rabbit hole, to be like, I just need to do hard drugs and, like, not be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get that. And then there's also, I mean, because we're in entertainment, people think that it's always glamorous and we're treated well and paid well and all that. But comedy is very much like a rung below music in that regard. In terms of entertainment
it
and
is.
respectability
Yeah.
and all that kind of shit. So,
Yeah.
yeah, there's plenty of times that you just take, I mean, obviously we're taking gigs for moving up this totem pole, so to speak, climbing this ladder that you think you're getting. But anyway, I mean, without giving a synopsis of Sam's book, like it's pretty great.
It's a great book.
Yeah.
And you should go pick it up at Mutiny Cafe.
Yeah, listen to the Mark Maron podcast he did about it. 'cause-
Yeah, he was on W2F, which is fucking wild.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he did a great job too. What would be the worst is if somebody that you know goes on like a big podcast and they just bomb.
No, it's like hard to bomb in a podcast.
It's hard to bomb at podcast.
Yeah, here we are.
I'm so good at podcasts. I'm the best podcaster ever.
It's easy to bomb in a podcast.
So easy.
Oh shit. Oh.
Wow. I'm a comedic genius.
I've seen it. But High Plains is pretty sick, and they also. So we were talking to Karen over the weekend, and she said that High Plains is going to be back for 2021.
Yeah,
Like,
in
they're
September.
planning on moving forward with it.
Yeah.
In regard to
Well, the scary part was during the first shutdown.
Sorry, the scraper?
The scurry part.
Who knows? The scurry part.
The
Where
furry
all the mice ran away.
There was a point in the pandemic where no one had vitamin C.
Sorry, that was the scurvy part.
Yeah, this festival is taking place on a ship. Everybody, lots of scurry.
Yeah.
Lots of vitamins A and D. So the main there's the Paramount Theater show, which is one show that headlines the festival, but the rest of it all takes place within a block of South Broadway, and the bigger of the three venues on South Broadway went out of business during the very beginning of the pandemic. Three Kings.
No.
Yeah, Three Kings was the
I
man.
did not know that shit. That makes
Bummer.
sense.
We all passed it today, bummer.
But
I know you did.
it was bought already, and they're gonna keep it a fucking venue, and it's already hosting comedy again.
Amazing. Okay.
And also the High Dive, which is the second biggest venue, was on the verge of closing down, and they survived.
Thank God.
So essentially, High Plains is still going to exist in the same fucking manner it did.
Yeah.
Because for a
Wild.
minute there, all of us here in Denver were like, "There's no way High Plains can exist.
Yeah.
Three Kings is gone. High Plains is going to shut down. Let's fucking support."
Sputnik bought the whole block.
Well, Sputnik and High Dive are actually owned by the same people. So Sputnik helps keep High Dive in business.
High Dive's, yeah. Sputnik's a fun. I've only ever drank there. I've never performed there, but High Dive's great.
Have you eaten the food? They got good food.
Yeah, Sputnik's.
Yeah.
The brunch there's
Sputnik rules.
on top of
Yeah.
it all.
But that's like I think most festivals just can't exist in the same way that they have because everything is shut down. So that's really cool to have.
You know what's very funny?
Yeah, we were nervous.
Is this past weekend, Karen Wachtel, one of the producers, was hanging out with us at Steamboat, and we were talking about High Plains because I haven't been in a while because like I did Edinburgh.
See, you brought it up. That's how you never get booked again.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I was doing Edinburgh, and then I was talking about one of my favorite experiences. Like, man, I loved the year I got to you guys let me do an hour because they did. I was like warming up for an album, and they were like, "Yeah, do an hour. We don't give a shit." I was like, "Oh man, that was such a great year." And she goes, "That wasn't my favorite thing." no, but not like that wasn't my favorite. She's like, she's like, that's not my favorite memory of High Plains. I was like, wait, what? And she's like, do you not remember your coach speech? And I was like, oh, okay. But the most recent time I did it, which was 2014, 16 maybe, at the after party at Mutiny.
Yeah.
Yes.
The after party at High Plains is fucking legendary.
Is a legendary. I got up on a cooler and made them shut down the music and was like, listen to me. Hammered out of my mind, this is special, and gave this I want to say Vince Lombardi, but probably Joe or Steve or Craig Lombardi, his brother, who the brother who wasn't the coach.
Right.
I gave a very
They gave him a defensive.
I feel like I was there for that. And don't remember.
A very exactly.
Maybe not as memorable as you
non-memorable drunk speech, but she was like, "Yeah, dude, that's what High Plains is about, though. People being in. No, hold on. You're not hearing me. You're not hearing me."
I am hearing
She
you.
said, "Oh, not."
Oh, I thought you said no. I thought you said
No, I
no.
said, oh.
I thought you said no.
No.
Sorry. She was like,
"Keep going."
that's what it's about. Was
agree with you.
comedians getting so inspired that you broke out of your comfort zone to share that with everyone.
And
It's
stand
fuck yeah.
on a cooler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then apparently I fell off of it,
choice.
and Ian Carmel called me.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's how a good speech should end.
You uncovered a very deep memory.
I'm recovering. I'm drunk.
Yeah.
I wish we could all belch. I think we should.
I'm ready.
I think we should order pizza. Hello. That was pretty good.
We'll wait for Steve to come back.
You got hype. You got hype.
That was like a disturbed
That was
belch.
like a-
I was like,
Sounds like a baby goat. I'm like,
Caitlin, what's a baby goat called?
a kid. Do you want a kid? But just baby goats.
Yes. Wait, a baby
that's
goat
such a
is
great
actually
joke
called
for
a
a
kid?
girl that really wants
Yeah.
kids.
I really want baby goats. I love them.
I'm just saying, if there's somebody who was ever like, do you ever want to have kids? You're like, I love baby goats.
There was one year.
That's how I feel
Break
about
somebody's
personally.
heart if they didn't get the joke. You don't want to be with them.
It's a good litmus test.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yeah.
All right. Are we ready?
All right, we're gonna try to burp. to end the show?
Oh, dude, I can't force myself to burp. I already went over this.
So can you...
Give me like a half a beer, and then
Half a beer?
Yeah, you guys go on my mark. I literally cannot control it.
No.
Sorry, that was a good one.
I literally cannot force myself to burp at all.
I can't.
It's okay. Wow, that was pretty great.
I tried. I actually thought the burp was coming like 10 seconds before that, and no.
Let's all try and do it together.
Did you get it?
No, not at all.
Swallow air.
That's what everybody's. That's not.
Swallow air. It comes right out.
No, it doesn't. I'm trying.
Is this the best or worst way you guys have ever ended your
No,
podcast?
it's not at the top at all. In terms of the worst
Well,
ways.
I feel really offended right now.
In terms of the worst ways, it's not at the bottom, I should say. Well, actually, instead of trying to figure out when we can all burp simultaneously before we get out of here, why don't you guys plug? This is going to be out in probably 2 weeks, so plug whatever you want, your social medias, all that kind of stuff.
Podcast called 5 Words on the All Things Comedy Network. Also, an upcoming podcast called Explain Like I'm Sean.
Oh yeah.
It's a tech
I
podcast.
produce both of these.
Caitlin produces both of them and is the third mic on Explain Like I'm Sean. And a damn important producer because otherwise we just barf everywhere. Album called Scuttlebutt.
She should be on this podcast.
MeSeanPatton.com for dates.
No one can go on dates with him.
New Orleans Saints.
Not that he would want you after those breaks.
No, maybe you would. Maybe you're a flatulent fucker.
Somebody's coming right now.
Wait, hold on.
It's Corey. He's the only one that listens.
Caitlin, play it.
We have shows upcoming in Charleston, April 2nd and 3rd. I don't know where they are at, but they will be in Charleston. And then otherwise we'll be in New York, and I am finally going to start posting again on social media. And all of my handles are the Caitlin Cooke, except for TikTok, which is it's Caitlin Cooke. Yeah.
Corey, I'd like to plug our upcoming shows at our venues at work. So I'd be back at Flyco Brewing.
You don't have to ask me permission.
I like the idea of like, Corey, I'd like to plug actually plugs them all.
I did not ask permission. I started plugging. I had said, Corey, I'd like to plug, and then I plugged.
Yeah.
We're back. We're already
Both of
back.
your sides.
It's true.
We're already back at Flyco Brewing. Flight Row Brew King, Flyco Brewing, and Oscar Blues in Boulder. And by the time this episode's out, we should have dates announced for Epic
Brewing Company and
Landlocked Ales.
yes, and then we should hopefully
Baby
have
River North.
another date locked down for Oscar Blues Brewing.
Beer Stat should be soon.
Which we had our first show at Oscar Blues. Oscar Blues in Boulder. We had our first show there this past Sunday. It went over great. So if you're in the Boulder area, come check that out. And yeah, like, review, subscribe. All that shit goes a long way. iTunes, Instagram, all that shit. It helps a lot.
1, 2, 3, burp. Bye.
Wait, that is?
That was so close.
No, I was trying. I thought you were saying I farted out of my stomach.